Yeah, Target. That's
It's been beat up so much. I think there's some activism possible.
Oh, there's definitely some activism possibilities.
Yeah, so that was my reason
to make it
for that one.
Yeah, like it's been beaten up way too long. 11 o'clock already. Well, obviously we'll be back. You'll see us in the afternoon. But you've got Joe, you've got Obi. You're locked and loaded and ready to go. You don't have to do anything.
Intel's coming back
and relax.
Yeah.
We'll see you later on.
And good trades.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome everyone, happy Tuesday. Yes, it is that midday show. It's me, your boy Joey-O, and next to me is Obi. Yes, Toronto taking big L's yesterday. The Leafs lost, the Jays got smoked. That is not fun whatsoever, but guess what? We're here, the markets are open, and we're gonna be taking a look at some things. Obi, how are you, my friend, before we get into some roll call?
Not too bad, not too bad.
All right.
From some crazy moves off open, but yeah, let's get to the roll call. Let's see who is here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Who's here?
Everybody, yeah.
All right.
Let's get it going.
Obi, you're muted, my brother. Oh boy.
I'm not muted.
He's not muted. He's not. He's on. He's live in the chat. Who do we got in the chat? Always Taste. I don't know how you made it back in here, my brother, but maybe I blocked someone, the wrong person again. But who do we got? We got James. Doctor Strange, what's up? And I was gonna say metaverse, but it's the Spider-Verse. And the multiverse sounds kind of low. Bastone, self-cultivate, what's up? High vibrations, yeah, we like that one. What's else? Who else we got in the chat? We got Sage Mike, Jason Coloni, Joe Orama, Sage Mike, G-Talk, what's up? G-Talk 5150, let's go. Davey Trader, what's up? John P, YB, who else we got? Odyssey Flights, haven't seen my guy Gore, Mike P, the Rider, I didn't even see his name in there, but I'm gonna shut him out anyways. Rook 78, Big 40, Nephew, what's up? JG, Dinkelberg, what's going on, my guy? Who else we got? Rusty Shacks, shout out to Rusty Dutch as well, my guy in the chat. Grey Worm, shout out to, what is it? Come on, come to me. Game of Thrones, there it is. Let's go, fam. Mateus Malfoy, Grey Worm, that's where I know him from. Bustin, what's up, brother? GG, how's everyone doing? Joey Option says, Liberto Calvo. Couple more here. Howard, Big Al from Ottawa. What's up, Alexandre? What's up, my friend Ryan O'Day? And one more, Mo Babaz says, gang. All right, gang, gang. So yeah, all right, guys, let's see what we got going on. A little bit of a choppy one this morning. Don't pull it up just yet, Assassino. I'll tell you when. And now, there it is. All right, so we took 2 attempts on the short there on AMD. Katina Man was long. They didn't work out. We got out of those, so we started 0 for 2 on AMD. But then we stopped. We hopped into some IBIT. We caught the long off of the lows, took some off, added, and then took it out, and it decided to rip. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see if we can get a short rocking and rolling here. Try the short, stopped out, bang. Short starts working. We add and we start piecing it out. And then we get stopped out of our last little bit right there. So right now we're sitting on our hands. We'll go 2 for 3 on IBIT, and then also we'll go 0 for 2 on AMD short. A little bit choppy this morning. NVDA was selling aggressively, but the market decided to have a rally. And with that being said, not too much fun. But I mean, if you like the longs, I'm thinking short. I want to see some of these bigger names at lower prices. And are we going to get that on NVDA? I like our chances, because guess what? You want to buy the dip on these big boys, all right? So that's what we got going on. We're going to be continuously sitting on our hands, looking for that next opportunity. And guys, let me know. Jag, Los Pollos, I haven't seen you. Gorev, make sure you have those shout-outs for me today, because I am going to be on alert and looking for some potential fades. But again, you don't want to be standing in front of this moving freight train that the market is just continuously getting bought back up. Obi, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Yeah, so this morning, I'll be honest, I got absolutely blasted this morning, right? That happens sometimes, but today I didn't follow my system for what it was worth, and I gave it the stop to high a day, or no, high of this consolidation. So absolutely blasted. AMD came in with some aggressive selling, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get with these sellers, sell all the way into VWAP, actually get really aggressive here on the 219, 218, back through 217. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
If you were watching AMD tape this morning, it was a battle. It was absolutely aggressive. The wipes were crazy both ways, and the sellers kind of more, heavier than the buyers, which kind of, that kind of coerced me into staying in a little bit longer. It went against me. I held 220s. I was like, all right, let's see how we test 220s. I had a little bit of risk tolerance here. And then when it came back in, I was like, okay, you know what? I think my average ended up being 17 sixes, 17 halves, in and around there. And yeah, it came down to 17, held 17 really well. I had multiple times to decide to get out, to mitigate losses, but I chose not to. You know what? It's kind of one of my weaknesses is sometimes I do get stuck in like a deer in headlights. I'm just locked in. I'm just like, I'm so, the move was sold to me. I'm like, okay, sellers are coming in. I was well in the money a little bit, and then it comes right back in and held on a little too long as this aggressive bid came in. Wipe, all the way back up to 220s. And I gave back a decent chunk of, daily shutdown, stopped out of the system. But yeah, you know what? We can log into demo a little bit later, but that's what I wanted to talk about. Kind of, there are times where I take losses, and it's due to kind of not adhering to the system. So that's what happened this morning. It is what it is. Got to review the mistakes, but tomorrow's another day.
Yeah,
Next trade is what I'm thinking. So let's see what you guys have been up to. How's your morning been?
He's slightly red on it. Again, I was trying to short AMD with you too, Obi. So yeah, that didn't work out. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a fade today, but the buyers just kept stepping in. But I mean, there's plenty of time left within the session to kind of recoup our losses. And if the opportunity arises, we'll be able to do so. And I think there's going to be some good opportunities here on the day. And it's still early in the week. Good thing, OB, less than 24 hours from now, the market's going to be open, and it's a brand new day. And what happened yesterday is essentially irrelevant. So let's rock and roll on there. I would have liked to take another short on there, but it's not hydration nation. That was hesitation nation over there. So with the hezi and the confusion on that one. So yeah. Yeah, you like that. With the hezi, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll wait. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a move back towards the volume weighted average price here on the day. So I'm gonna look at the overall market. But if some of these bigger names like Google's climbing higher, Amazon's climbing higher, you don't want to go against those. So maybe the crypto space might be something that we want to look for. I want to see Bitcoin back to 100,000 wide so I could just absolutely load the boat and have a great time with that, or have a horrible time with that. It would go either way, but I'm a little bit more confident on that side. Yeah, other than that, I'm just sitting on the hands. Let's see what some of these big names. 180 on NVDA. We'll take that all day. Someone in the chat asked us about Amazon, and Katina Man was talking about Amazon this morning as well too. Ditto, hangry wife. Ditto, ditto, ditto. For those who know what ditto means, it means same. All right, so there it is. Let's go to the daily on Amazon here and see what we got going on. See, I wanted a little dip below this 210 area, and then I'm going to start to buy some of this as well too. Joe, am I the youngest person on the floor? No. Ramin is younger than me. Adair is younger than me. Fabian is, and yeah, then it's me. All right, and Obi and I are around the same age. I'm the youngest trader. No, Adair is.
Hello?
Adair is. Yeah, sorry. Adair is. Sorry. There we go. Sorry. Hello. We do big fail on that one. I mentioned you though, Adair. I said that you were younger than me. Anyways, but yeah. Pardon me?
You said you were the youngest trader. You said you were the youngest trader. That's why I got.
No, I said Ramin, Adair, and Fabian are younger than me.
Oh. Okay, but someone someone said that. Yeah. I'm the youngest trader.
Man.
I did.
Listen, guys.
Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Jeez, all right. No, there. Oh, there goes Bitcoin right back towards the volume-weighted average price, guys. AMD starting to come in a little bit as well too. Let's hop on these lower time frames. But as for Amazon, south of 210, guess what? I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer 110%. That was my next swing opportunity. But I think just the tariff talks, it's kind of the same. It's not exactly the exact, that's exactly what happened to WHIP, just catching strays out here. But no, in all seriousness, I think with Amazon, a lot of this tariff turmoil is definitely holding this stock back. Once that starts to clear up, I think we're going to have a beautiful chance to start to recover. And don't forget about AWS and AWS. That's what I think is going to really get this name rolling once again. And I want to get involved around some lows. Considering we're still down, let's go off of this high right here. 280. We're still down 12.5%. From that previous all-time high. So I like our chances there. We're going to grab some of that. And I was also looking at BMNR. Yeah, okay, so we're going to go over to Adara. Ramin, did you just douse the place with perfume? What? I said, we're going to Adara, but all I smell is perfume.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's talk here, though, about, we're going to do a quick news update. There's a couple stories I want to talk about. We have a lot of executives from these banks that reported this morning speaking right now. So we do have an executive here from Wells Fargo saying that their office portfolio is likely to stay flat. This stock is still nicely at day's highs and probably the best performing bank right now. Take a look at Citi as well here. Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser announcing the launch of a new mid-tier credit card program. C taking a little bit of a dip here, and also keep an eye on Microsoft and Nvidia, MSFT and NVDA. Now, apparently, Microsoft is set to lease and scale capacity in Portugal for Nvidia chips. Now, this is a good sign here of collaboration between these two major tech companies, MSFT and NVDA. Back to you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, Obi, that's what I'm looking at. A nice little signal starting to be displayed on the TQs here. So maybe we're going to get a little bit of a pullback. We can use our risk profile just above the high of the day there, about 10, 15 cents. And there it goes, starting to come back in. So let's get involved in some TQs here, Obi.
What's going on?
Okay.
I was reading the chat. I'm like, okay.
All right. I know you wanted to do something.
So Trix is asking if we can look at ACHR right now. So let's take a quick look at one of those ACHR. Archer Aviation. A lot of people kind of watch this over the course of time. It comes into fashion and goes as well. So let's see what it's doing today. Not really any sort of relative volume. Nice move off of the open in terms of a short, and then nice reversion coming back in as well. When the buyers kind of step back in, that consolidation breakout, this little flag here, when that kind of breaks out 1180s, and then we're off to the races all the way back up to the highs for 100% reversion. So interesting stuff. I guess this had some sort of maybe some sort of a catalyst or something. 4 a.m., nice little dump there. Pre-market consolidation breakdown, that came in pretty clean off of the open there. But you can see bigger picture. This thing has been doing some things. So let's take a quick look at bigger picture here. Consolidation, higher. Right, 11s cannot be broken. Every time it kind of came in for the past couple of times here after the strong leg from this base from $8, we pull back into $11 and kind of hold. So we're consolidating above that. So that's what I see here. Consolidation highs at 1280s as of right now on Archer and NVTS. Yeah, we can take a look at that one. NVTS. I know people are watching this one as well. Navitas with a pretty crazy move overnight, and didn't really do too much off of the open. I was looking for a potential continuation here, but gave up that pre-market low, and since then just chopping it around a little bit there. So if you're looking at it short, that came in really nicely right off of the open or going into the open, but since then kind of within that range from the open. No worries, man. Lots of thank yous there for covering those. There's an IPO. Is it IPO for SEV today? Ross is asking Joe. We can take a look at the IPO calendar here. Okay. Right there, boom. So it's first one right here. So today, let's see what it says. What's the date today? Today is, I'm forgetting. Today is the 14th. All right. So 14th, we have one RPGL, which is scheduled for today. Priced at $4 to $5 and a $10 million offer amount. I'm probably not going to be involved in this one, but oh boy, take a look at this. We got another one, boys. A $1.1 billion IPO. That's coming out at the end of this month, the 31st. And what is this one? On the Nasdaq. Navin, NAVN. That's interesting. I got to take a look at this one. We'll go straight to the filings here, and maybe look at their S1. Boom, there's the S1. I just right away, I want to see who the underwriters are. So that's my biggest thing. First thing I look for when I go to the IPO, go to the S1 filing, and then right here, the underwriters. We got Goldman Sachs, Jefferies, Mizuho, MS, Citigroup. So all the boys are on this one here. Pretty strong underwriters. So I like that. What do they do? You can go in and kind of read about this as well. So this could be the next potential trade here. Another $1 billion IPO. We've seen some of them do extremely well, some of them a little bit of a dud off of the open, but based off of certain nuances, I think you can kind of figure out which ones might be better than others, and then look for confirmation when they do come out. So it says all-in-one travel, payments, and expense management program. Okay, interesting. So personal travel management. It seems like that's what they're into. So yeah, thank you for pointing out a potential IPO today. Didn't know that this one was coming up, but NAVN later on this month. Only about what, next week or the week after? Yeah, that should be coming out. So we should be waiting and watching for that one. The more recent one was that almost $1 billion laundry company.
Oh, yeah,
and I kind of looked into them. It was funny idea, like, oh, $1 billion laundry company. But the thing is, they're like wholesalers to laundromats.
Oh, okay. So they're selling the machines.
They're selling the machines. They're selling the infrastructure. They're selling the businesses. So it's like, okay, it makes more sense why you're worth almost $1 billion. I was thinking a little bit differently. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money you're washing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're washing everyone right there. Assassino, absolutely, my friend. So yeah, gotta stay away from that stuff. I know those New York laundromats get you in a little bit of trouble there. But all right, there it is. Man, oh man, there's Bitcoin right back down to the volume weighted average price. That was target, so that's why we hopped in, added to that, and then eventually we got stopped out. But now we're just adding a little bit here to the TQs, see if we can get a move back to the volume weighted average price. NVDA starting to head back towards a support level low. We got to keep an eye out on Google and what Apple and everyone else is. Tesla's starting to come back into the volume weighted average price as well too. So let's see if that can help drag down this market. What is Apple up to here today, guys? Because we are short the market, we want to see how some of these mags are starting to react. So let's keep an eye on some of them. There's AMD, a lot of sideways price action here, guys. Wells Fargo was nice, climbing higher and higher on that. There we go. Oh, so I added a little bit. There's Google around the highs. You got to keep an eye out on there. And then Tesla, NVDA. Let's take a look at what Microsoft has been up to. All right, so it's slowly starting to head lower. All right, let's take it down. Reject the volume weighted average price is way up here at 513.29. And then Amazon, we talked about this. We're a buyer of this name, anything south of 210. So I'm curious to see if we can get that rocking and rolling. But let's go the TQs back into the volume weighted average price. Is that primary play? And here it is. We're looking for that specific move off of these wick highs. Volume candle isn't necessarily isolated, but I like our chances of heading back into some key support levels. Gorv mentioned that this is yesterday's low, right around that neck of the woods. Way to call that one out. We like that there, my friend. And then there is some resistance that can be acting as support, but I think if we crack this neckline at 100, we do have a good opportunity to get involved and get back towards the volume weighted average price. If it does, then we'll add a little bit. Let's take a look at, okay, Always Taste says Phillies. I don't know. This guy says the Philly laundromats are the worst. Yeah, I heard it's really bad over there in Philadelphia. I mean, across the world. For some reason, I feel it's getting worse here in the city as well, too. Obviously, with the homeless factor is what I'm getting at, but that's two totally different things, laundromats and homeless individuals. GoRo, let's take a look at this one. Individual S. Yeah, nice move all the way from 83 cents. This is most definitely Sharif's world. Gold resource right there. Take a look at the daily breaking out. That's a breakout. So, I mean, come tomorrow morning, if you get an open above that, maybe you can get a push a little bit higher. Not too bad of a look there. Okay, here comes the TQ starting to come back in. Katina Man and I were looking for this trade yesterday, so hopefully it comes into fruition today. I'm not surprised I'm surprised the SPY isn't a little bit harder considering the banks are doing half decent. Excuse me, Wells Fargo. Starting to continuously climb higher and higher and higher there. But yeah, let's go. We're rocking and rolling on the TQs here, just a chip in a chair essentially here, guys. So we're just going to chisel away. And I think eventually when you see that prime time opportunity, just like a tiger, you have to pounce on the prey and try to make it as large as we can. But right now, I'm not seeing anything substantially eye-popping, even though we are short. We're looking for that break of that 100. Once we hit that, Obi, we're going to start piecing it out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, looking for the next opportunity for sure. But yeah, no, I'm kind of just reflecting and just observing price action on the day today. I will log into a demo just to kind of have some trades on board in a little bit here. But yeah, just kind of observing some of this action. So doing some write-ups on this trade on AMD, man. AMD was absolutely nasty off of the open. If you guys weren't here a little earlier, I talked about how, yeah, I got absolutely blasted, shut down on this. So here at the firm, you have a daily risk limit. So if you surpass that daily risk limit, you cannot trade live for the rest of the day until for about a 24-hour period. So that's where I'm sitting at right now. I definitely had an aggressive position. I was very, very convinced on the AMD short, and I definitely over leveraged on this trade. This definitely wasn't necessarily something I should be putting on daily risk for, but you know what? I kind of mismanaged this and got blasted through the 220. So we can talk more about this a little bit later after we get back from Madeira.
Yeah, I just want to remind you guys, Fed Chair Powell not speaking yet, but he will be speaking exactly 1 hour from now at 12:20 p.m. I will be covering that for you guys live, so definitely stay tuned with us here on the midday show for that Fed coverage. I will be giving it live for you guys. Again, Fed's Powell at 12:20. We already had Fed's Bowman this morning and Fed's Collins and Waller in the afternoon. Again, Fed's Powell, though, the key here at 12:20. Back to you. Oh.
Very much there, Adara. Yeah, I'm just talking with Gorb in the chat. We're just talking about our accuracies on the TQs. It's tough, man, because it's so hard. There's so many factors that come into play, and I talk about it over and over again. When you're trading this, you have to look at the MEG because they're so heavily weighted in the index. So at the end of the day, if they're not all moving in tandem, then it's not good, right? So we're short right now, looking for that break of 120. We're going to hold our horses here, and then also NVDA putting in a little bit of some higher lows, right? So we got to keep an eye out for that. And Google's still grinding higher and higher as well too. So a little bit of a fluctuation on the P and L wise. So we'll pack our patience and see what we can get rocking and rolling, So yeah, all right. Bang, 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 101. I got to give this some room. I averaged into this one. We don't want to take too hefty of a loss, right? Because we want to be able to grind throughout the day and wait for those opportunities. So I'm not going to give this too much more room, right? I would rather just get out, accept the loss for what it is, and find another potential opportunity. Joey, holler at me on some UVXY, said Drago. Anything, my friend. And we're going to definitely UVXY, pro shares, Ultra VIX. There it is, UVXY, coming from 1260 all the way down to 1190s. Did you buy puts or did you sell calls? I'm curious to know, Dragos. Adara, talk to me.
Keep an eye on MCRP. Nice push to the upside for this name. This is a $2.40 ticker. There's some speculation here going around on X that they could be partnering up with Nvidia, or there could be, I guess, another robotics push here with this company, Nvidia. Apparently, they've previously announced partnerships. So MCRP on watch with some Nvidia speculation. Also, fun fact, according to Kalshi, I guess in these prediction markets, Kevin Hassett, who is the current director of the National Economic Council, he is now seen as the front runner for the Fed chair position. So interesting look there. Kevin Hassett, who worked for the Fed, though not as a governor or a Fed president, is now apparently the lead contender in the Fed chair race. That's according to the predictions markets. Back to you.
Back to life, back to reality. Yeah, no. All right, Apple's selling a little bit here. Come on, drag it down for us. Break it down now. Now, yeah, as for the UVXY, you have some calls on that one. Someone in the chat was asking me about pins earlier in the day, so shout out to them. Well, I don't know why I'm showing you out, but I know you mentioned you had some contracts or something along those lines. So yeah, just repost what you were saying there in the chat, and we will take a look at some of the activity. Let's pull it up right now, and see what we got cooking up. for our expected moves, and we'll take a look at some of the earnings this evening as well too there, guys. Oh, you dirty dog, the TQs, man. Oh my days. All right, options, expected move. Do they report this evening? First and foremost, I must do my due diligence and see what we got going on in the post market this evening. And Pins is not reporting. Okay, we don't got anything really overly exciting in my opinion. Tomorrow morning though, 1 a.m. Oh, okay, I won't be up at that time. Maybe Obi will be up at that time.
Maybe.
Playing ASML at 1 a.m. All right, they're reporting at that time,
Definitely
Obi.
possible.
Possibly. Well, I think he's going to do it. BAC tomorrow as well in the morning. Dollar Tree, Morgan Stanley, Progressive. All right, some good stuff. And then what do we got in the post? Let's take it up. Who's in the post? UAL is what I'm seeing over here. And that's it. United Airlines, really. Home Bank Shares, JB Hunt Transport is reporting as well, too. So, all right, not too bad. UVXY going down. That is not good for the shorts as the VIX is starting to slowly grind lower and lower. That is not what we want to see. Wells Fargo still hovering around those highs. Someone sent Joseph some spank. What is that? What is spankopitia? Strobe. What is that? Hopefully I'm not saying something bad now. Hypercube. One of my favorite plays is when we get massive moves overnight. Look at CME futures for levels instead of the ETFs. VWAP held really, really well. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that one. DK Joey. What did I just say right there, DK? What's up, my friend? It's good Greek food? Bang. I love Greek food. Shout out to Mykonos or however it was pronounced. I want to go there. That's a bucket list. There in Croatia, we got to check that one. And DK Brosif, what's up, brother? What's your opinion on crypto crash? Aren't we destined for a new all-time high now since all leverage was cleared? Maybe, possibly. We got those mass liquidations, so I like our chances. I want to see Bitcoin come back down to 110, or sorry, 100 is what I meant, and then I'm just loading the boat. May as well get rocking and rolling on that one, right? Rocking and spinach pie, that's gross. I like spinach though, but I'm not the biggest fan of all these pies. Is spinach pie? Oh, okay, spankopitia. No, then maybe we won't be trying that one. We'll let Adara taste that, and then she'll get back to me just in case there's any spice in there whatsoever. So, all right, guys, what else do we got cooking up here? Starting to come back in there. Adara, I just volunteered you, so I appreciate for being a good sport.
Pretty sure I've already had it, and it was not gross. I do not know what pies ever did to you,
okay,
but you have some kind of thing there you need to work out.
Give me a rating on it. 4 out of 10.
It was, wait, out of 10?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a while ago, but I would put it at least a 6.
Ooh, okay, all right. That's above average. We'll take it. A 6. Adara's giving it there for that form of pie. But let's go. Apple continue its selling. Help drag the TQs down. 100, we're going to start piecing it out. That's going to be 60 cents, probably 108K, says DJ Reese. Could you check out BTC on options? Any key strikes at 130. I don't even know I don't think we can. The futures, I was trying to pull that up, but I can't even pull that. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, bang. Okay, yeah, it won't even let me pull it up. It has to be, okay, so it's not showing me what I want there, so nothing crazy. We'll go to IBIT. What is IBIT up to, right? Because that's equally as telling. Even though there's a little bit of a tracking error in there, shout out to Havana. Havana, I haven't seen you in some time. How's XRP doing? Genuine question. But yeah, there it is, right? Like, so I thought that we were going to tap into 73s. Oh, that's a real far expiration. You could tell that I'm looking to really load the boat over here. Let's go over to this week's expiration. Wow. 65. This is some large size at 65. What was our high of the day on IBIT? I can tell you that. 63.75, so 65 strike price, 46,000 contracts right there, and the volume relatively light, 4,600 on that one. But those 61s, 44,000. At the money IV around 50%, so cool off a little bit. All right, so David Chavarini, probably butchered that one, and I apologize. Should I sell 10,000 shares of Macy's stock for SoFi? I got the shares from my ex-wife in a divorce.
Oh boy!
All right. Wow, that's
okay.
Put a lot of weight on our shoulders here, man. No, obviously,
that's a little
Ems. Macy's. What's the average price on those?
Oh boy.
I don't love. See, that's the thing, Strobe. I don't love shepherd's pie either, man. I truly don't.
So no kind of pie, just nothing. I thought it was just because of like the sweet.
No,
but not even savory pies.
But no, I don't. But I'm just not a fan. Like, so shepherd's pie, I don't love that much. Pot pie, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, I just don't like. I don't like the mixture. Anyways, I dare.
What's going on in there?
You have to try Tourtière, Québécois classic, really good pie. But let's talk here about BTC, which is cooking up a little bit to the downside, though I do want to note, since we kind of reclaimed this 110 area from Friday, we did dip below it on Friday, but since we reclaimed it, we've held it really well. 110,000 is showing up more and more as clear support on BTC in this daily chart. So certainly something to be aware of. No real catalyst in this space, though I will mention one thing that is really being attributed a little bit to that run to all-time highs in Bitcoin was the fact that we had the government shut down. And some people are thinking that this could maybe be viewed as a safe haven play with the shutdown. Well, now, as I mentioned earlier, we have some prediction markets expecting this to be the longest shutdown in history. So if that is the case and the safe haven narrative continues, it could continue to be a good look for crypto, including BTC. Let's take a look here at Ethereum. The 15-minute chart there looks like identical to what we saw there on Bitcoin. The daily chart for Ethereum, though, as I mentioned earlier with Bitcoin, slightly higher low than what we're seeing with BTC, which is consolidating quite close to its Friday low. Interesting look here, but Ethereum also finding some clear resistance around that 4,800 level. Let's see where things go from here. And back to you.
Rivian Millionaire, multiple months. I don't want to have to stress about theta whatsoever. I just eliminate that factor. I'd rather pay a little bit more cash for that than have to worry about theta. That's just my mindset. It's just one less thing to stress about. Now, as going back to our friend on the super chat here, David Chavarini. I mean, you have 10,000 shares of them. You don't have to hold on to all of them. I would rotate maybe a little bit into that if that's what, I mean, I'll take those 10,000 shares all day. Of Macy's, maybe not. I would look to trim a little bit, hold some. I don't know what your average price is or anything along those lines, but yeah, I would rotate a little bit there if that's what you got from that. So yeah, Rivian Millionaire, that's what I'm looking to do, brother. I don't want to worry about that whatsoever because for me personally, I think just holding the leverage derivatives, you got other factors that you need to worry about. If you can completely eliminate one of them, oh, $6? Okay, bang. I would lock something, $6. I would lock some of that in on Macy's and then look to rotate, sit on some cash, see if you get some better prices momentarily. But yeah, I'm going to see if we can get this break here in the TQs, still hovering around these levels. So maybe another liquidity grab is in the works before it decides to make an additional move lower.
Yeah, it was this morning. I think I was looking for some continuations in some of the rare earth stocks as well. So let's take a quick look at some of those and see how they've been holding up. We know that MP and TMC, and there was a few other ones as well. Throw them up in the chat because I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but holding up pretty well at the end of the day yesterday. Yeah, pretty decent look there on MP here. We did gap up and push a little bit higher today, but in a nice little flush as well. So I just want to go to the daily chart here. Okay, oh boy, yeah, a little bit of a miss on my part. Well, not really ish. This was, I guess it was a day two gap on this one. I thought it was day 3 for a second, but yeah, okay. So gapping up into that 100 mark. So maybe not really getting through that 100 too well in the pre-market. Not really sustaining that move through 100. Kind of brings in some selling off of the open all the way down to 90. So oh boy, on that one, man, absolutely crazy. So we'll see how these guys kind of hold. The thing is, what I'm noticing, Joe, is that we're still holding structure. After a strong sell-off day today, off of the open, strong sell-off session, we're still holding pretty well, holding this uptrend, holding higher highs and higher lows as well. Let's take a quick look at TMC, the metals company. Yeah, people talking about lack at the same time. Yes, of course, lack was one to watch out for as well. So it seems like a lot of them getting some strong selling on the day today. We did visit some fresh highs in the pre-market session. Today's metal runners saying West y'all, AQMS, AREC, TMQ, and NVA. Yeah, TMQ was the one from yesterday, I think. There it goes. Wow, TMQ off to the races, blasting. So looking distinctly different from the rest of them as of right now. So We'll continue watching this one. AREC, we'll check this one as well. Okay, some strength. So yeah, you weren't wrong. These are today's runners. West, y'all calling them out for us. Thank you very much. AQMS. Oh boy, a little bit of a sideways chop on this one. So yeah, good look there. Have eyes on. Haven't really taken any trades on those just yet. But let me know what you guys are trading, man. We'll see WWR, Walmart, right? Walmart had that news right off of the open, or going into the open there, and oh boy, that one was pretty crazy. Okay, the bid did step back in. 103s seems like they held pretty well and continue to push a little bit higher here. Nice consolidation. This is a very tight consolidation, actually. You know what? This is a very tight consolidation at high a day. Almost like seems like a big consolidation. I don't know. We'll continue to monitor this one here, but I really like the way this is consolidating and flagging above that range high and above 105s as well. So Walmart's a good thing I remember this one. Look at it as it goes right now as we speak. So beautiful stuff, man. Lots of opportunities market, lots of crazy legs, and OpenAI seems like they're the ones who are causing a lot of these crazy moves. We saw them with the AMD, we saw them with the Oracle, we saw them with Walmart today. So you know, it's an interesting environment that we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So, yeah, this isn't working out. Starting to come aggressively against us. Every single name in the mag is starting to climb higher. Apple, NVDA, Google, Amazon. So we'll just hop out of this one, man. Unfortunately, we'll take a loss on it. I'm not wrong at the break until the break of this, but I want to get out of it early and keep these losses a little bit smaller just due to the fact of the hits that we took on AMD this morning. So, yeah, I just want to stay extremely risk adverse here. I don't want to be going against this market. And you know what? I was talking with Gorev. I think it's just time. Sometimes it's really important to just put some names on the back burner for a while. And I think just due to my trading accuracy on the TQs, it's just avoided. It deals with too large of a basket and too many factors come into play instead of just individual stocks. So I keep it up to monitor it just to see what the overall market is doing. But we'll take a loss right there on the TQs, which is unfortunate. So again, we'll sit on our hands a little bit longer. It could be an additional fake out, but that's going to be my last attempt on that name. With that being said, let's run through some of our scans. Let's get the TQs off of our chart so we're just not looking at it all the time. There goes NVDA. Let's get our eyes on this one, 182. NVDL, a pretty good vehicle to use right now because it's trading around 90-something plus dollars. So yeah, another strong rally here. I thought that we would get some continued bleeding, but everybody seems to want to buy this dip at some point. I don't know if individuals are going to really start to getting trapped long, but I'll tell you one thing. I ain't buying a thing up here. I'm waiting for specific levels. Patience is key. Adair, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here, Tesla, pretty strong. No news on this, to clarify, but I saw some chatter about it, so I wanted to address the strength there in TSLA. Let's talk here as well about the just the market in general. We have commentary coming from U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer, specifically about rare earths plays. Keep an eye on MP, TMC, USAR, TMQ. He's saying that the U.S. has had constructive talks with China over the past 6 months, and that the rare earths measures from China, quote, came out of nowhere. So some comments there from U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer on China. Again, guys, just to clarify, Fed Chair Jerome Powell has not spoken yet, and he's not speaking now. He is speaking at 12:20 p.m. So again, 12:20 p.m., we'll get commentary here from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. I will be covering it live for you also. Definitely stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Back to you.
Ooh, what do you got there? What do you got there, Obi?
I'm honestly watching this Walmart consolidation here in and around that 105. Pretty interesting. I think it says something where you get that leg pullback and then once again leg, that strength coming in. So okay, buyers were there off of the initial mention of Walmart and OpenAI together. Bit of a reversion. I was watching this as well. Beautiful reversion of some of those highs, maybe getting a little too far too fast, and pulling back in pretty nicely there for a decent retracement as well, about a 3% fallback into those 103s, but finding base, and it seems like VWAP was the place to be when it reclaimed that VWAP and finally broke this kind of flag through that opening range high. We just kind of grind it up.
There's some serious volume stepping in.
Push. What's happening there?
I don't know, but in the overall market, there's some pretty big volume stepping in there, Obi. Yeah, so the TQs is starting to put in a massive print here. And then also we're starting to see some pressure on some of these bigger names. Sorry to interrupt you, but there it goes. There goes the TQs, the volume stepping in. Something might be going on here, Adara, because not yet anyways, because there's substantial...
It's just the stuff with Jameson Greer. He's talking. There could be some volatility there. As I mentioned, he's talking about China, but nothing else. It just looks like kind of a...
Yeah, that would be it. Thank you very much. Sorry, Obi, continue.
Yeah, no worries. Seems like, a little bit of a wicking dance happening on this 15-minute candle of both the ES and the Nasdaq here. Not quite back at that 25K mark that, we've been kind of orbiting around. 24.7s today, 24.750. We're kind of struggling to push through today. Look at that consolidation since about the open right there. You can see 10:30-ish to now, which is about 11:30. But yeah, for about the past hour and a half, we've just been kind of consolidating and attempting to push that 750 there. But tight consolidation should be interesting here. We'll wait and see what we're winding up for. I think we got some more news with Adara.
Yeah, we have more like super back and forth commentary here with regards to what the U.S. is going to do with China tariffs. We know that they had previously said, or Trump had previously indicated there'd be some 100% tariffs on China on November 1st. Then he said, don't worry about China, it'll all work out. And then he indicated he'd still be pushing in these tariffs. Now, as part of this commentary from Jameson Greer, who is, again, the U.S. trade representative, he said that the China tariff could happen sooner, but it'll depend on what China does. So more uncertainty here with tariffs, but nothing brand new. That's just coming, again, from Jameson Greer, where he is speaking. I'll let you know when he appears to be done. Back to you.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, there it is. I mean... We'll see, right? Like, we're going to be patient. I think sitting on our hands for a little bit here. I'm not going to be buying anything up here, so I want to wait and see to see if we can get any form of indecision and that a high-quality setup where we can just eliminate a large amount of our losses on the day. We got risk left, nothing substantial, but we can still be in play, and a couple wins in our favor. We're right back in the game. We're right back in the thick of things. So the DI hitting 4-hour resistance. That's why we saw the Qs and the SPY moving. Upside, says Andrew or Andre Emerad. Yeah, thank you for that, and much appreciated. But it's continuously growing. Yeah, the Dow Jones. Yeah, the Dow. Hey, it's me. I'm a Joey too, says Dude Star. What's up, brother? Congratulations. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, guys, we can run through some of the volume. We'll go over top performing sectors. We'll do some options activity as well too. Someone mentioned pins. I seen it, but then I took my eyes off it and lost it once again. Wow. Okay. All right. Who does this think it is at this point? All right.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah. Who? I am. Dude, you have that one there. So there it is. Yeah, you have that one there. Sharif's got that one.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, there's a nice little breakup there in MARA. We'll pull it out on a 5-minute once again. We'll go through a couple of the names. There is Ford, pretty strong session. Tesla, pretty good one there. AMD. Again, just stuck in this choppy mess. I would avoid that one for today. There is the Quad U. Yesterday's session, you get that breakout in the post market. Adara, what do you got?
Yeah, this China saga continues with Jameson Greer, who is, again, the trade representative here, U.S. trade representative. He's saying that there is a time scheduled for the Trump-Xi meeting. So it looks like it's still on, again, according to Jameson Greer, U.S. trade representative. Now he's actually saying that they also watch the stock and bond market. Like, lots of commentary coming in from him. It is worth noting here. And then he also said it's hard for China to find an off-ramp on rare earths. Here is USAR, one of the rare earth names that's been in place. So just keep an eye on these names. But again, he's saying that this tariff is going to really depend on what China does, whether or not the U.S. decides to put in that 100% tariff. And again, that November 1st date given by Trump, it could or could not be sooner, depending, again, on what happens. But also, I really want to add, too, kind of another odd comment here from Greer. They apparently want to make sure that the market responds to appropriate information. Back to you.
They will distribute $300 million to users who lost it during the October 10th crash. I'm sure you mean Binance on that one, Mopar. Okay, yeah, so there goes Bitcoin, there goes MARA continuing to climb. The Google putting in a new high of the day. Yeah, glad we got out of that short, guys. Look at the TQs start to rip. That one didn't work out for us. Bang, putting in a new high of the day on today's session, but still inside of what we got going on from that Friday. So keep that in mind. Okay, anyways. So yeah, that's what I got cooking up. NVDA could be a potentially good long here. We went through a couple of names. We'll go through a couple more in the top performing sectors before we send it back to our guy, Obi. What's Amazon up to? Ooh, I don't think we're going to get 210 on Amazon. BM&R, this thing is not a very good intraday trader. I tried it a couple times before, and look at this, just completely sideways. Why did I like BM&R? Well, look, we have this wedge starting to be formed. We did get to the top end of the range, and we're holding the lower end of the range right now as well, too. So I like that as a potential opportunity. I want to take a look at Amazon's daily as this hammer candle at support levels is starting to be formed. So what was that low here? Approximately 212.50. And starting to bounce off of that. So I want to buy some of these mags at the lows. I just got to be patient and wait for that prime opportunity in order to do so. EOS Energy, I mean, there's plays outside of the GPUs, cloud, and all this tech boom. The financials have been doing pretty good. This energy name has been doing pretty good. LAC was on the rise for a while. Let's pull it up there. And there you go, putting in a new high as well, right around $9.50. So not a horrible look. But the more extended this market gets, the more I like it. Am I going to be shorting the TQs? Again, probably not. We're going to find a different vehicle, Obi.
Yeah, for sure. I think you gotta be careful when the markets is very, very directional. Right now, we talked about that consolidation. So we had that strong reversion from some strong selling off of the open there, and consolidating at the highs. So consolidating just underneath that 24,750 that I was just talking about. I'm like, okay, this is pretty interesting. We've been consolidating here. Can't really get through that 750 just yet, but nice consolidation on top of the 700. So really, really tight. Top of the range, so I like that, and it gives us that continuation right now. So really, buyers are stepping right back in here into this market. So I just want to keep eyes on this Walmart, because with a strong market like that, this consolidation is very, very interesting to me. Because look at this. This is what I mean. Nice grinding bid, some strong volume. Like, I know you like to look for these strong volume nodes right there. So that made the high a day there, and we've been consolidating sideways for just over an hour and 15 minutes here, with a range that's here. Let's just be specific. Let's measure the range, right? A 20 penny range, roughly. Let's say it's about a quarter. There it goes right there, attempting to push at the highs once again. So I'm going to pull it up on my chart here. Walmart, which trades on the NYSE. See if that breakout is going to be NYSE here as we attempt to push a little bit higher here. So 0519s. So now the range high is 21. So 105.21s. We're trading at 15s right now. So should be interesting. I'm keeping an eye out on this one. An OpenAI catalyst with an unusual partner. Like, yeah, sure, Walmart, you know, I was kind of laughing, had a little bit of a chuckle when I was like, oh boy, Walmart now associated with OpenAI. What an interesting market, man. And a lot of traders kind of reiterating that. Now, I wasn't around back then, but a lot of traders reiterating that, like, this really starting to really hone in and feel like some of those .com times as well. The way we're just kind of elevating on anything that's associated with an OpenAI or anything like that. And the market moves have been absolutely wild as well. Like AMD, for example, today was an absolute battlefield, a crazy chop. Like the thing would wipe like $1.50 within like 15 seconds. And then right
the ATR is through the roof.
Yeah, the intraday ATR is being the ATR is definitely getting explored.
Yeah,
let's say that. But I think we got something with Adara. We'll be right back.
Yeah, keep an eye on some of these beauty plays. I have ELF up here. Not a ton of volume, but a bit of a pop on this most recent 15-minute candle as we get results from LVMH out in Europe. So again, just be aware here, LVMH earnings. We know sometimes when European companies report earnings, their American counterparts or rivals will end up moving in tandem. Same thing with Nike when Adidas releases their reports. But yeah, it looks like LMVH revenue up here 1% organic on a year-over-year basis, so slightly better than expected. Fashion leather revenue down 2% year-over-year, but perfume and cosmetics revenue up 2%. So Keep an eye here on ELF. Estee Lauder would actually be another one to look at here. Estee Lauder to see what they're doing on this, and they are moving much more notably higher. So Estee Lauder on watch with these LVMH earnings. Back to you.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, usually the top-end consumer isn't affected that much. It's the lower end is where you really start to see things slow down. They usually just tend to pick up. The rich just get richer, as they like to say. But yeah, Obi, I don't see anything right now. The TQ is still grinding higher. I'm glad that we got out of that one there. Volume has stepped in on it. But with that being said, let's take a look at the top performing sectors. At the top of the list today, Obi, we have the industrials leading the way, up about 9/10, financials up about 8/10. Utilities sitting in that third spot, 6/10 theirs, 0.63 to be exact. And then we have energy down about 1/10. Then we have healthcare down 1/5, and technology sector taking it on the nose. But as for the year to date, it is still drastically outperforming everyone else, right? I mean, on the year, not year to date, but in a year span, we're up 20%, SPY's up 13.25. We have the IWM up 10%, and then the Dow up 7% as well. For the week, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, a lot of negativity. Why does it say double SPY? I think one is meant to be the Qs there, my friend Obi. Yeah, the green one, we're down 1.4%, and same with the SPY there. So tough, no, I wouldn't say tough look, but I mean, negative is negative, and I wouldn't be surprised once we recover from that, because it seems to be the case regardless of what it is, 3%, everybody wants to get back in and start buying this dip. So David Chiavarini sold them Macy shares and went long BMNU, going hard in the paint. Need a new lady already up, he said. All right. Yeah, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Let's take a look at BMNU. Okay, what's this? It's a T-Rex, too long, BMNR. Okay, you're up large. Did BMNR break out? Oh, you sly dog, you BMNR. I had a feeling it was going to do that. Don't forget, these leverage ETFs are not investment vehicles, right? They're intraday vehicles. You do not want to be holding on to these for long durations of time. Why? I'm going to give you the prime example right now, and we're going to do some comparisons. All right? So off of this previous high, whenever this, actually, no, this isn't good. But anyways, you're down 35% off of that peak. BMNR, I think it's down substantially more, but it's different there, 66%. This is going to be the prime example and what I'm going to bring to you. So we have Coinbase, right? So Coinbase 444.50, that high to where we're currently trading at is 22%. Now let's take a look at ConL. That's going to be the 2X, and we go back to exactly from where we're trading, and you're down 45%. All right, so that is essentially just in a short term why you don't want to be holding these leverage products for too long. All right, they are not investment vehicles. But there goes Bitcoin, there goes BMNR. What is ETHA up to? I haven't been looking at it. I'm not going to get too on the fritz about this or anything along those lines, because I still think there might be some potential downside, and we might be able to get involved in some lower prices. ETHA starting to grind, entering this or about to enter that gap. So not too bad of a look there, but don't forget, BMNU is not an investment vehicle.
Yeah, you got to be careful with some of those products, especially the ones that kind of decay as well. It's funny, people talk about like, oh, you know, I got long the UVIXI, or you get long some sort of VIX product, and they're like, oh, why is this kind of dying on me? You got to be careful with some of those products here. But no, looking at some bigger picture stuff here, I'm pulling up the Dixie, the dollar index here, just to keep eyes on what we're doing. So I'm not really getting too much information here on necessarily the hourly chart. So I'm just going to go straight up to the monthly, and I know where we're sitting here on the monthly relative to the beginning of the year. Right, beginning of the year, we had a nice strong bid going into January. Right, December, January of the beginning of the year. Kind of Dixie's up at 109, so we're all feeling great. But since the beginning of the year, sure, the stock market has been pushing all-time highs. Sure, things are more expensive. Sure, But take a look at the dollar. The dollar is significantly down relative to where we started off at the beginning of the year. 109s all the way to sub 100s right now, 96s. So trading at some consolidation lows. Sure, we're making some higher lows as well. But you know, there's a lot more other factors that move this thing around. So I'm not really being like, okay, you know, support, resistance, whatever. But yeah, sometimes there is some there are some interesting levels that we do respect. So that $100 level can be interesting here as well. So eyes on the Dixie for sure. I'm kind of watching those, and then maybe wanting to keep eyes on some of these bonds as well. I know a lot of people not really watching the bond market necessarily because again the stocks are absolutely going crazy. But nice little consolidation and increased volume as well in this consolidation over the past few years as well. So that's the monthly chart on the bonds, and kind of maybe making a bit of a base here since COVID, right? COVID absolutely smoked off of these since then, and nice little consolidation for the past couple of years here on that one. So yeah, man, I don't really see anything too crazy. Let's take a quick look at some of the volume gainers on the day, and maybe we'll find some opportunities. Like I said before, I will kind of hop into the demo soon enough, and maybe take some trades, take some reps on potential opportunities that I see. Bit farms, okay, interesting. BBAI, there's the next one. This thing, man, every day, just a little bit higher, a little bit more of a chop, a little bit higher every day. Yeah, there you go. That's I know Sean's definitely big on Bear AI for sure. But yeah, there you go. Beautiful chart on the higher time frame on this one as well. Trilogy Metals, TMQ, coming in with a bit of a reversion. When we last looked at this one was high in the sky, but it seems like the sky is falling right now with some of these breaking down. So $10 consolidation, that breakdown coming in real nice. Take a look at this, man. Sometimes it's so straightforward. I don't want to call it easy, but it's straightforward, right? The market is showing you that we have a bit of a linear bid, right? This bid has a linearity to it. Every time we come in, we hold, we extend off of it, we come in, we hold. Once that behavior changes, once that behavior is done, we can either go one of three ways. We can either continue and rip up higher, we can either go sideways and consolidate, or we can go a little bit lower. But the buyers were there for about, I would say they were in charge from, let's say the day low to this wick high. They were in charge for maybe about an hour and 15 minutes. And since that's when the bid dissipates, maybe we get a bit of a reversion back down into VWAP. So that's a good look there on TMQ. That's coming in real nice. Unfortunate to not have that one there. But where is the next trade? That's what I'm asking. Nvidia not really doing too much. Strong flush off of the open, grinding kind of chop in and around VWAP. Sure, relatively higher highs and higher lows as well. SSKN could have been interesting this morning, but wasn't as interesting to me off of the open. Navitas, we know a lot of people kind of mentioning this one in the session. So yeah, still kind of grinding up. That selling off of the open was very interesting through the pre-market lows, almost straight selling, no real looking back. And you had the confluence from the market as well. When the market's kind of selling off and the stock you're looking at is selling off, I don't know, sometimes that gives me a little bit of confidence, a little bit of confidence and confluence because of the parallel action there. So LAC, we were going to look at this one earlier, and oh boy, this one's one that is continuing to push a little bit higher. You're making me laugh, Dynamic Driver.
Yeah,
I have not heard of that kind of VWAP. That's not an indicator that I use, but you want to be careful because that can be a slippery slope. So it is what it is. So Seals Q. It seems like there's some runners here. Rigetti, yeah, this one was on my watch list for sure. Bit of a gap down continuation coming in off of the open there. So 55s trading. Yesterday was pretty nice. That imbalance that came in, the imbalance actually grew from like 2-3 million to about 4 million, and we had a strong close. Look at the volume bars. That came in real nice. Continuation definitely had people thinking for a potential push coming into the day today, but gap down. A little bit of a bloop all the way down to $50. So yeah, that's a good look on RGTI. Right now, we're going to be right back from Madeira, and we also got Neil's lesson of the day. Been missing that.
This market got a little excited. It's starting around 11:30 a.m. when we had commentary coming from U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer, and he spoke a lot about the relationship with the U.S. and China, specifically saying that both countries are in talks and that 100% tariff on China could happen or not happen, depending on how Trump feels about the matter and how the negotiations continue with China. But the other thing he said that was pretty interesting was that, it could actually be earlier than November 1st or later if it ends up happening. Either way, the market having a bit of an issue here with $600. Again, as I mentioned, these trade tensions with China and the U.S., remember to always keep an eye on the rare earths minerals place. You know, your names like MP, TMQ, USAR, AREC, any ticker like that. Now, guys, in 20 minutes, we're going to have commentary coming from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. I'll be watching that and covering that for you live. Here he is right in the center. Fed's Bowman. She already spoke today. We'll get Collins and Waller later in the day. So busy day for Fed Speak. Tomorrow is going to be even more jam-packed with Fed speakers. So again, as we await the FOMC meeting for October and the end of the government shutdown, Fed Speak is going to be really the thing to focus on here. Now, before we send you back to the guys, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to get ready for Neil's lesson of the day. Take it away, Neil.
Thank you very much, sir, Dara. Today, pretty simple one. Pretty simple lesson. Like sometimes you've got to just join something crazy. And LAC, look, LAC at the open, like everything else, or like a lot of other things, I should say, Tank City. Like 830 down to 770. Looked like it was going to be a breakdown day after a big open yesterday. I'm purposefully leaving it out. Then this happens. So you get the V-shaped recovery and the monster breakout. You're going to wonder what the lines in the chart are. Get to that in a quick little second. Because when you see something like this, you know that to a certain degree, there's got to be some shorts that are offside, right? Whether they're selling early or selling here, or looking at resistance at yesterday's highs, they're in trouble. And V-shaped recoveries where you lick grab at the open are good longs. But where do you try to get in? Now, ultimately, you saw me zoom it out and look at the 15-minute chart for the multiple day resistance and say, look, that 880 level, you've already, remember, the stock's already broken out. Let it dip back in, and if it holds on the 15-minute, there's it holding, just go long on the next bar with the stop at the prior low. But here's where it gets more interesting. Like, make sure when you're zooming out, you kind of look at the whole structure, because if it's done that liquidity grab, the whole reason you like is that it's got some room. So yeah, you've got long if it holds here. That's step one. But the next resistance is at $9. So there's a scalp trade in here from the 860s, 870s into 9. But once it breaks out this level, what is there to look at? 940, 970. Like when you get this dip, once it's broken away from 9, all you have is just another big leg to the upside. And that's where like the hold through comes. Because you have a lot of established liquidity zones in this stock, like very clear liquidity here, very clear liquidity at like the 830 level. Then you have the resistance that it's breaking out. So once it breaks all of this, you've got to let it try to work into the high. And until it makes the topping tail at the top, there's your exit. Now, arguably, you go short off of something like that if you really like it. But when you have that clear a structure, rounded bottom, break of the resistance turning into support, let it work to the obvious levels, especially when it's the kind of stock, you know, LAC is known to do double-digit type days where it'll go $1, like $2. Let it work. So A, you've got to be willing to join when they lick grab that bottom and it's the one going. B, let it work from station to station, and when it breaks out that new top, let it get to that next resistance spot before jumping out of the trade. And if you are going to short it, like at least try to short it at a key level. And if you try to short it here, great. If you try to short it at like $9, not bad. It could have worked out for you a little bit. But ultimately, sometimes joining a trade when it's already broken out can still be done. And then on top of that, give it enough room to work from level to level. This is the kind of name that is going to have days like this every now and then while it's in play. It requires a little bit of patience because it was consolidated for 3 or 4 days. And on that day that it breaks out, it's going to be worth it. Now, is it going to do it every day? No. You have a big breakout day, then a bunch of nonsense to the downside, and then you get another breakout day through the top. That's twice in like 6 or 7. So you need to be capitalizing and allowing yourself to hold from level to level. So zoom out that chart, look for the liquidity points, and that's where you want to execute. Don't get too much out too early. Hold some for that absolute high. There's your quick lesson of the day. Market grinding higher. Don't forget, Powell's going to be talking. Can always move the markets. It's been a nice recovery. I think Powell's going to determine whether we actually get green or not on the Nasdaq.
Yeah, I think so too, Neil. It's going to be a big moment here coming up momentarily. But there it is, guys. Short AMZN. We're starting to collect a little bit here. Not going to make the same mistake twice. Now, will we? Bang. There it goes to the downside. Yeah, man. Let's stick to the individual stocks. Bang, Katina, man. Boom. We'll take a little bit there. Nothing substantial. Come on, Amazon. Give us that 210 that we want to get involved with. I'm not saying that's necessarily going to be the case today. Drop $7. I highly doubt that. But there goes the crypto space starting to come back in a little bit as well. Adara brought us Goldman Sachs. She was talking about that off the lows. 741 all the way up to 774. Wells Fargo was definitely the play. Also, yeah, this is what I forgot to show you guys. Man, so I was trying to manage the IBIT trades, and I was in some Wells Fargo, and yeah, this is essentially what happened. A break-even stop there, and it just goes way, way higher. Can't get much higher. Walmart. Hey, there you go. Thank you, Adara. Yeah, I mean, Walmart turning on the jets. Obi was talking to this about this to me not too long ago. Here comes Amazon heading right back in here, guys, as we were looking for. That signal was at the highs. Let me pull it up for you momentarily. So not a horrible short right there. Again, we're not crazy heavy. I think there was a good add opportunity. We'll take a little bit more off there. What? What's that, my friend? Amazon. Do you had 218 short? Oh, I'm short 217.80, my friend. Beautiful. You're beautiful. Adara, I was waiting for you to come in there, but I didn't know if you. Oh, okay. Who sings that song? You're beautiful. It's true.
Are you? You have to be louder. What are you singing?
You're beautiful.
Oh, James Blunt.
Oh, is it
But
James
fun
Blunt?
fact, that song is not a romantic song. It's about stalking. It's about stalking.
I thought Katina Man was right on the Maroon 5 there. You're beautiful. James Blunt, yeah, it is James Blunt. There we go, bang. All right, Katina Man, shows you how much. Yeah, sure.
James Blunt? You guys talking about James Blunt?
Blunt.
James
like
Bond?
Yeah, like
James Bond.
Like Snoop Dogg. Yeah, exactly, like the Snoop Dogg version. There it goes. 218 short, says Katina Man. Bang. Here comes Amazon. Man, we didn't have very much size on that one there. We'll take another. Benson Boone?
Who? Who's man?
Who's that?
That is a different song called Beautiful Things. And also, why are we talking about Benson Boone, guys?
I don't even know who Benson. I don't even know who that guy is. I have no. Yeah, I have no idea who half of these people are. Anyways, what happened?
What's going on?
It's because we have some mystical and magical trades. That's why we're talking about Benson Boone.
I think I know that.
The next big thing, Benson Boone.
Right, what did
if you could buy stock, you should be buying stock in Benson Boone. But it's probably already way too high. All right, I gotta go.
The chat will let me know what this guy's done because Adara does not.
Yeah, we keep hearing the eels. So
yeah,
I'm
she
curious.
does not like this individual. So we'll wait for the chat to let us know.
Mark Zuckerberg gets dressed up as Benson.
Oh, really?
Okay. Okay.
What thing? Flip on what thing?
Flip the script?
Are you looking it up right now?
Flips off his piano and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I have no idea who that guy is. Anyways, yeah, I mean, to each their own, man. If this guy wants to flip off pianos and all that stuff.
Read charts all day?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Like, yeah, what do you do? Just like trade? What do you do? Like actually trade? Yeah.
I mean, like Obi doesn't even watch sports. Like he's the guy. It's just charts. Man.
I'll play sports.
This is his sports.
This is my sport. There you go.
Okay, what sport are you playing? Like if you could play
basketball.
Ball? Okay.
I like basketball. Basketball. Pickup game of basketball. I'm down for whenever.
Okay.
I like volleyball. Pickup games of volleyball.
I like
kind of rare. Obviously, you can't just unless you got to be at the beach or something like that.
Yeah.
To do that. What else do I like?
Or LA Fitness.
Soccer. You know the funny thing? I used to be a pretty chubby kid, and I hated running.
Oh.
For that reason, and I was just like, I was like running off me, and that's why I never really liked soccer. But I don't know why. Soccer never really was a thing. High school, we used to play a lot of ball hockey.
Yeah,
that was elementary, sorry, not high school, elementary school mainly. But yeah, no, basketball is my definitely number one. For sure.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe some badminton too, but you can't.
Badminton's sick.
I like badminton because like fast reaction time.
Yeah.
And you gotta be quick, and sometimes you gotta be so quick that you're not even thinking about it. Like you're letting your neurons do the work for you. You know.
You're letting the instinct.
Muscle memory. Let the instinct run. Right. That's what I like. That's really what I like.
Pickleball is sick.
Hey, let the instinct run. And
Matt M, don't get it twisted. Ball hockey is tough. Katina, man, I used to play over there at Grenadine Park. You know High Park right there, right? It's hard, man, because it's not like ice hockey. You can't glide, so you actually have to be consistently moving. So, yeah, ball hockey is a lot tougher than what you think it is. But, yeah, I mean, here it goes, guys. We're getting that short here in Amazon. Not too bad of a move as we head lower. 217.80s. We're trading 50. We got 50 cents roughly on that one around these lows, so not a horrible look there. Crypto space coming back in, market just coming back in general. Excuse me. And then here's the TQs, right? You could take a, yeah, exactly, Katina, man. So there it is, 101.87. You can take that high, but I wasn't going to take another attempt at it. I would have just been frustrated with myself, sticking to the rules. Amazon really starting to cook up for us. Let's see if we can get that move back into the volume-weighted average price. A retest of this high. We failed to construct a new one. Therefore, we put in a new lower high. I'm going to look to add to that position. Ozan, come on, man. What is that? Obi, what do you got going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm watching this Walmart. Like I said, Walmart was the one that I was watching, and I was like, the way it's consolidating at high of day is very interesting to me. I think this is a very valid trade, kind of a nice long consolidation at high of day, a catalyst and a strong leg extended away from VWAP. So this is something like I love reversions to VWAP, but this right here, this is a big sign for me where I'm like, I am not taking this reversion. It doesn't matter. I am not taking this reversion. This is way too bullish of some price action there. And I pointed it out a couple times. I pointed out to my pod as well. Shout out to everybody who kind of took that trade, had an idea of what this meant, and then look at this continuation. On something like a Walmart, I said this is a 20-penny consolidation at high of day, and that was around 105.14s. We're pushing 105.90s right now, on the brink of pushing 106s. Pre-market reaction high was 106.58. Now, I said this morning, Walmart with an OpenAI news, oh boy, this stock is not used to that kind of participant volume, so it should be interesting. And yeah, some interesting price action for sure happening on Walmart today. So shout out to anybody who got involved with that. I don't know if it's a big dog, but definitely a little bit of a consolidation there at that 105 on that one. So if you know what that is, shout out to you for that. Obi has a pod? Yeah, of course I have a pod. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, it was beautiful when we had the trading floor, right? The trading floor, like you had bodies around you, you had ideas that you can bump off of. We had meetings, morning meetings, we had midday meetings, we had everything.
Had it all.
That's not there anymore. So guess what? I can't be like, oh well, that's not there anymore, so I'm just not going to do that anymore. You got to get a pod. You got to have a group of people that you don't really, you bounce ideas off of. Not a podcast. Sorry, that's a pod just means like a group of traders that's like your team, and then you're kind of like you bounce ideas, you do meetings together, you review your trades, things like that. So. You got to have a good team on your side, man, and that is very, very important. And being on the floor definitely gave you some of that. But being in a bit of a, so we call it pods, and I think that's been kind of thrown around a lot over the past, I'd say, a couple of years. So yeah, basically a trading team-ish, but you're not trading in a team. In a sense, no team trading, but trading as with like a. Sorry, am I team trading? Not that kind of definition. But no, I understand what you mean. But you share ideas, you share your top opportunities. You're like, what do you think is the best day? What do you think is the best opportunity on the day? There's 106s right there on Walmart, right? I was just like, I was looking for opportunity, guys. I'm gonna log in. You know what? I'm gonna log into the demo. I'm gonna log into the sim soon enough, and I'll throw some orders around. But if you guys were here earlier, I already mentioned that shut down on the day on what I thought was the best opportunity. I was wrong. I was more than wrong, and that's okay. Next trade, next day, a little too much of a risk expenditure, but that's fine, within range, I'd say, of our stats, so that's all right. But Walmart was the next one. Walmart was the one where I was like, yo, guys, look at Walmart. Look at Walmart. Walmart's doing something that's very, very interesting, and that is getting to go as of right now. But that's the thing. You got to have a strong community. You got to have a strong group of people that you're talking to every day, and they're just as serious, if not more than you. You want to try to get together and be a little bit better every day as a group.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my little spiel on that.
Nice, good little spiel there. All right, guys, so we got that move down there on AMZN, comes back to the break even. We hop out on that one. I like what oh man, I'm gonna butcher it. Santernjeet, I think you would pronounce that one a little bit better maybe than me. Santernjeet said that he's all out of his position now, so yeah. Okay, Inderjeet. Okay, all right, I apologize.
Santernjeet.
Santernjeet, there you go. Well, I mean, we're getting it going. Daryl, what do you got?
They're currently introducing Fed Chair Jerome Powell at this event. It looks like it's in connection to something called the Adam Smith Award. If I get more info, I'll let you know. Video is weirdly being protected over Zoom, so audio's not perfect. I'll be covering it for you guys. If anyone has any questions, I guess just tag Obi and Joe and they'll let me know. But yeah, currently he is being introduced. Once he takes the podium, of course, I will keep you guys apprised. Back to you.
Guys, crazy.
Take it over, Obi.
Yeah. I know exactly why you're laughing.
Adam.
Yeah. This guy's a problem. This guy's an issue.
I know, Adam.
This guy's an issue. You know what? This guy shows up every day as if it's his job.
Yeah, I know.
The unemployment is definitely very apparent.
It is 7.1%.
This is your full-time job. I get it, man. You're doing great at your job, Adam. So
7.1%.
Keep it going in the chat. So on to the next one. Irrelevant, unnecessary. Don't need that.
Even look, Neil's laughing now.
Yeah. Neil's laughing as well. It's a funny joke. I get it. Not here. But it is what it is. Where's the next trade? I was looking. I have Goldman Sachs here on my chart because Adara was talking about how she took a Goldman Sachs trade earlier. A nice trade as well. It worked out pretty decently. Beautiful reversion off the 750. So that's what I'm looking at as of right now. 750. That was a beautiful reversion. So something I can kind of review today was this consolidation and then break back above. It gave you over 100% reversion off of the opening high. So that was interesting. I know a lot of banks kind of did the reporting this morning, but I kind of looked away from all of those and then just looked at AMD, and I had eyes on Walmart as well. So it is what it is. Walmart doing the thing and continuing to the upside. So we'll see. We'll see if that has some multi-day moves. OpenAI bid, man. Everything's kind of you attach OpenAI to a company name, and we're getting some crazy moves. We kind of saw that happening with AI when it first came out. Everyone was like, all these small caps were just like, oh, we're adding AI. Oh, we're buying some quantum chips. We saw that with the crypto reserves, right? Oh, okay, companies are moving around. If we're going to become the next MSTR, maybe following that kind of business model, and then they catch a little bit of a bid or a multi-day run. So yeah. Interesting stuff here. Now, a big name like Walmart catching a little bit of that push there as well. High a day almost 106s we went to. So what is the specific high a day right now? Intraday 105.97. So just chopping around there. So we consolidated. We stepped up. We consolidated around 105. Now we're stepping up again. The question becomes: do we form structure, because we haven't really made much structure up here? It's just been a leg up. We form structure. Do we hold structure? Do we step up on that structure? That's all going to be good information on the day today on Walmart, and maybe defining some of these structures and consolidations could be interesting. This 105 definitely. I'm going to be watching this for the rest of the week with an hour-long consolidation.
Nice. All right, guys. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse, and inverse leveraged ETFs, has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs offering 3x and 3x bear and bull exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. Even better, They're offering a special rebate fee, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. All right, guys. Now, we got Powell coming up here momentarily. Pardon me? He's going right now. All right, so yeah, he's rocking and rolling. Thank you, Adara. Please tell us what he's got going on. Adara, keep us posted.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm seeing commentary come from Powell's speech, though I am watching the event right now, and it doesn't look like he's actually said anything, so they might be prepared remarks. He's currently stepping up to the podium, at least in the stream that I'm watching. But he did say that right now there is no risk-free path for monetary policy. I think that's the biggest thing to know here. Fed Chair Powell saying there's no risk-free path to monetary policy. He's also saying that the future path of monetary policy is going to be driven by data and risk assessments. So again, commentary coming through here. Looks like he just stepped up to the podium and is taking a photo with his new Adam Smith Award, as far as I can tell here, but I'll get more info and I'll let you guys know.
Very much. I got it going on in my ear here as well momentarily. I got some options activity. We'll take away some of these things. We got to close some of these tabs here, and we're going to listen to what JP says. I'll tell you what he's got going on, and so will Adara. So yeah, keep an eye out. There goes Amazon. That's why you get out when you're supposed to. That pullback was relatively shallow, 218.24. Now we're currently trading at that one. So let's see if we get any more indecision. The more extended we get today, the more that I like it. But if it's too strong, we don't see sellers step in, then we just got to avoid it at all costs. Yeah, it's good. It's probably going to go green, Katina, man. I agree with you on that. Let's turn this volume down here. There you go. So, okay, so yeah, Amazon rip off that hammer. Yeah, Jag, you're in. Are you in that one there, Loss? I'm curious. So once that hammer was printed on the 5-minute, I decided to get out of that one there. So we take that move to the downside, and then we get stopped out 20% right there. I was happy to take off more on that one there specifically, right? Because I didn't want to go against the market, and you just have to be happy with some of the profits that you decide to take. BMNR going right back, putting in a new high. Crypto space starting to rally a little bit here as well, too, guys. I'm flat. I'm only holding IBIT in the long term. I no longer have any contracts. I would have not been having a good time holding contracts, especially after that news that came on Friday. So for me, it was good to flatten out. We've seen a couple super chats coming in as well, too, guys, just referring like, hey, I'm glad that we got out of all of our positions, and hopefully you were able to position yourself relatively better than what we had going on. But BMNR, are we going to get that daily breakout that I was referring to earlier? Let's take a look at this name. Oh, man, we sit on top of this range. I'll go cons right there, contracts that is, and see if we can get a little bit of a move higher. Not too many because it's extremely volatile, even though the ATR has most definitely started to compress here. So keep that in mind, but bouncing right off the lows. You know what? I might just get involved with some shares around here. Even though we're climbing higher on today's session, I like our chances. Risk profile relatively defined. I'm going to give it a couple dollars, and then we'll just buy a little bit, get our toes wet, and see what we got going on there. Adara, I hear as soon as we get it, bang, $6 AMD, says Katina, man, rocking and rolling. Adara, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Powell's just talking here. Again, a lot of this is stuff that we kind of already knew or we've already heard from the Fed before. He's just saying that there are concerns here with the job market, saying the downside risks to the U.S. job market have risen, and that apparently the rising risks to the job market are the reason they cut rates in September. Again, nothing new here. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, keep bringing us all the news, whatever updates he gets there. I got him in my ear as well too, but I'm obviously rambling on. So yeah, other than that, guys, we're starting to climb higher. The market might go green this morning. As soon as I open my eyes, obviously you take a look at the old cellular device, and on here we have just this going at all times. So I looked at it, we had a massive gap down, and I'm like, okay, maybe we're gonna break some of these lows, start to cool off, but that has not been the case whatsoever. Individuals buying the dip, but keep an eye out on everything up here, because if it's starting to get toppy and we start seeing that selling pressure step in, there might be a good opportunity to the downside, and maybe even possibly hop in some Amazon once again there, Obi.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that's a good look there. Another thing I want to mention is, yeah, okay, finally I'm logged into the demo, logged into TMS here. So let's take some reps. I'm looking at what potential next trades that may show up. Again, Walmart, I have on watch. That 105 to 106 was quite nice. So I still have eyes on that. But where's the next trade? Let's put on. I want to put on some reps here for the rest of the midday session. As of right now, AMD with a bit of a grinding bid happening there. So in terms of chips, we got some strength here, a little, not really across the board, I would say, but it's coming in maybe. TSM and Micron are some of the strongest ones. So take a look at these. So we can take a look at TSM first, and you can see nice grinding bid to the upside. 300 potentially coming in here on TSM, 30 pennies away from 300, came all the way from 291 as well. And guys, we got some news. Did you know that instead of risking your own money, you can now trade with someone else's capital? Oh boy. No more fear of losing, no more moving your stop loss too soon. And you can actually get enough capital to make it worth your time. So you can aim for big profits, not just a couple $100 a month. This is the revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. This is how it works. Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, keep 70% of your profits, visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. All right, so going back to some of those chips there, TSM strong, like I said, and then not MS. Micron, that's MU. Micron also just as strong. You can see that nice hold of VWAP extension through that high a day as well. Some decent volume coming in. Where did that come in here? So, okay, interesting. Right here at a higher low, volume comes in, and then we break that short-term downtrend and reclaim some of this bid that we saw, not only off of the open, but from the pre-market as well. So yeah, that one's a little skewed, but would you take a look? Would you take a look at it? So general uptrend right here, and we're kind of holding some of these areas as of right now. So overall, Micron pretty strong, TSM pretty strong, SMH as well, kind of following in step. But when you take a look at stocks like Nvidia, you can see not really looking similar. Selling off of the open, sure. If you kind of remove that piece there, you can be like, okay, sure, we've been kind of uptrending. But after a QUBT, we've only retraced about 50%, knocking up into some of those pre-market lows on Nvidia. Intel as well. Intel not looking similar to that of TSM and Micron as well. Kind of a sideways chop. You still had that strong selling that came in off of the open, more than 100% reversion back to open on Intel. And now, of course, AMD, we're watching this one as well. Kind of grinding all the way back, pretty much made it all the way back to those pre-market highs. Those are sitting at 223.88s. We're attempting to push this to 223 right now on Advanced Money Destroyer. Duplicator, I don't know. I definitely got destroyed, but this morning, duplication is definitely the name of the game on this one, as it's holding, man. It's holding pretty well off of that catalyst that we got last week, right? We had that strong catalyst, bit of an OpenAI bid. They're like, okay, we're finally going to be implementing some AMD chips, not just NVIDIA's, and it seems like that sentiment is being taken pretty well, and maybe some positioning happening in and around some of these reference lows here. So 202.78 was that pullback, that initial day on day one. We had that 35% gap up, which was absolutely wild. Pulls back into 202s from a high of 228s. And then we haven't really seen those lows. We pull back into 207s on that aggressive sell-off on Friday. Can't really get lower. Monday coming in, we had a little bit of selling this morning, but curling right back up into some of those prior days highs right now, 223.20s as I speak. So continuing to push even more. So I think Sean said he's in that long. Yeah. So good stuff there for sure. All the way back to high a day on AMD. So let me know in the chat what you guys are trading, what you guys are up to. There's a lot of things happening in this market, and it's tough to keep eyes on everywhere, eyes on a lot of opportunities. It's easy to overtrade in this market because there's so many things that look so attractive. So I think it's definitely stuff to watch out for. But that's the thing. That's why we love having a community like you guys, so that we have not just for to 8 eyes to 16 eyes on the market maybe. We got hundreds of eyes.
Yeah,
we got thousands of you. So don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe and make sure you play your part in being the community.
The amount of numbers that we got going on here.
Say again?
I said precisely double the amount of viewers. So we got 4 or 5,000, 10,000 eyes. Bang, just like that. Oh, did you ever watch that show? I think it's called 1,000 Eyes.
1,000 Eyes?
Yeah. But it's about the blind samurai.
No.
Pretty sure it's based off of Iron Fist. Marvel,
Iron Fist? No, I'm not familiar. Like I know of him, but I'm not. I don't know about the. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's derived from that possibly. Okay, so we took another attempt there on Amazon. So yeah, that's starting to just rocket right back up there. It might break through this high of the day, and then we just hop out of that trade. We'll give back a little bit of what we made on the other trade, on the other short there, as it's starting to climb higher. I started relatively small, so not too horrible, but let's see if we can get that move. So there's another dark pool down to 218.20. Don't fight Amazon, just let it happen. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to for sure, Kyle. If it breaks through this high, then we'll go 1 for 2 on that, 150% accuracy on that there. So if it comes back against us, then no worries whatsoever. Now, as for some of the other names, see, this is the thing. It wants to draw you in just from our system standpoint is that, hey, we see this volume started to increase as well, too. Bang. We want to take the move back towards the lower end of the range, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. What I think we experience is a test of this pre-market zone, and then maybe you'll get some fades there. We're not too far off of it, so just keep that in mind. If the overall market wants to continue to sell, we're going to be participating. If Amazon wants to tank or just continuously grind higher, then sure enough, we'll just hop out of that one. The longs are definitely in vogue today. So the bank, I've been watching Wells Fargo all day. 84.46 is what we're currently trading at. So nothing horrible there. And again, just with this risk management, just get out when we're supposed to. Still completely alive on this session, so we're not worried about it. All it takes is that one prime time opportunity, and next thing you know, you have a couple of bad trades, a couple of losses, and that one trade just eliminates all of that. So that's precisely what I'm looking for. What was I going to do? Yeah, let's take a look at some of the options activity. I didn't put my scanner on this one here yet, so we'll do that later. I was trading a little bit of Blue Ocean last night. I was trying to work on some hotkeys on something else, and I was just messing around, and then I ended up trading a little bit of Tesla to the short side last night in Blue Ocean, which was pretty fun. So
how are you setting up those hotkeys? I'm curious. Are you crossing, or are you like just like limit posting?
Yeah. So no, essentially what it is those hotkeys are just like. They're limits, but they just punch me in right away, essentially. So when I hit it, it's just like bang. You know what I mean?
It's like a market, almost a market order.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. For some reason, I got the buy one to work, but I couldn't. I still have to use the order book to close the position. I don't know what I did, but I got one to work, didn't get the other one to work. So yeah, I'll have to figure that one out there later on this evening, just in case we get some activity in the aftermarkets. I'm going to be looking to participate there. I like the price action in Blue Ocean. I think it's a lot of fun, more subdued, and I think if you have the ability to catch it in the right direction, as simplistic as that may sound, there's pretty good opportunities, and the pullbacks aren't as sporadic and as deep as what we experience sometimes from an intraday standpoint. So I like the smoothness of the ocean.
I mean, I think you should stay swimming because, like I said, the first time I traded, oh boy, those pullbacks were pretty rough. So the ocean can definitely be a little rough. Sometimes the waters can be unforgiving. For those of you who are, who are familiar with sailing the 7 seas, you guys know that the ocean is nothing to be.
You don't want to underestimate the ocean.
Yeah, nothing to be underestimated for sure. I said that I think I might have been talking to Sharif about this. The first time I traded the Blue Ocean, I just it didn't really occur to me that it's going to be that illiquid or that directional. And I forget what it was. It might have been a Tesla, and I think I placed a bid, filled me. and it continued to go lower. It went down $1, it went down another $1, and I'm like, all right, let's actually see how far this is going to go. I'm not risking anything too crazy. This thing goes down about like $4 or $5 before kind of catching the bounce. I was like, all right, cool. I got familiar. I'm like, all right, cool. I understand how you move now. When that other move came back in, I definitely a lot more aggressive on that push. But yeah, no, when things get going on Blue Ocean, they can really get going. The opportunities, I would say, relatively the same. So price action is price action. I'm going to go back to the same thing. Whether you're trading in the ocean, whether you're trading in the open market, whether you're trading after hours pre-market, whether you're trading tulips, or whether you're trading, I don't know, anything. It's all the same stuff. Price action is price action. Everything is based off of some sort of a core supply and demand mechanic. So that's always going to stand. We'll be right back from Madeira.
Guys, I want to let you guys know here, I went to check here on the version of his speech, the prepared version of Powell's speech you can find on the Fed Reserve website. And as I indicated earlier, the monetary policy discussion is at the very end of the speech. He's mostly spent a lot of time just kind of talking about Fed historically, specifically the balance sheet. But yeah, it looks like we're soon at the point where he's going to be talking about the monetary policy. It's a pretty long speech, guys. I haven't provided too many updates because I think all of the main things that needs to be said were in the, I guess, prepared remarks that were released. But yeah, he did say here it's kind of hard to tell where the policy is going to go from here. I did just want to provide an update, though. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Gaurav, that's done. Like, we're 60 cents against me right now. Good thing we're just small, so we'll hop out of this one here momentarily. Short's not working. Definitely a long day. Friday that's crazy, man. Did you think after Friday that it was just going to be a one-off event, or did you think that we're going to see some additional selling?
So I thought. So I remember having this conversation. I was like, yeah, the sellers were pretty aggressive Thursday, Friday. I'd be, excuse me, I'd be really surprised if buyers can bring us back to those highs. And some stocks actually came back. They kind of came back into those ranges. So I'm like, oh boy, all right. Even those sellers kind of showed themselves. There was some aggressive selling, but we're holding up. So I'm going to continue to watch for signs of potential sellers coming in, or maybe not even that. Maybe potential signs of buyers attempting to kind of hold onto highs and then not really being able to do that. As well, so I want to stay with eyes on. But yeah, I think coming into the week, I was a little bit short biased, but at the same time, I knew that I have to stay nimble. We could catch a little bit of a bid at the beginning of the week and then continue selling at the end of the week, right? A lot of that selling last week just came in on Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Everything else was fine. Monday, Tuesday was absolutely okay. Right? So if we're going to continue to sell off at the end of the week, so it's just like, okay, well, if that's kind of the thing that might be happening, I want to watch out for that. I don't know. But coming into the day, strong opinions loosely held is something I try to do. I try to practice. Funny, ironic saying that, as today I definitely held on to my opinion a little bit too strong, but it is what it is. That's the ideal state, right? You can't be doing that, and I know what I did. It was definitely wrong. But, that's kind of the case. So having a strong opinion, but letting the market really tell you that, okay, this is we're going to do this. At the end of the day, my job is as a trader, not as an analyst. Like, you know what I mean. The market will reward me for participating in what I think are good setups. So I'm just going to try to do as well as I can for that. But yeah, it was interesting. I was looking for that. It didn't come in. That's surprising.
I mean, with Donald, it's like, why even say anything? Like, why post that stuff and then a couple of days later be like, oh, everything's going to be fine? Like, what is? Part of the plan. It's all a part of the plan, apparently. All right. I mean,
here's the thing, man.
Remember that?
We can go into those conversations. I don't wear a tinfoil suit. Sorry, I don't wear a tinfoil hat. I wear a tinfoil suit. And the market price action sometimes tells you much before the news, much before some other things. So it's like, sometimes you can see positioning happening, and then you're like, something's going to happen, and then boom, something happens. You're just like, you don't know what it is, but maybe you want to participate.
You remember that scene from Austin Powers where she's like, zip it, or he's like, zip it.
On what?
Zip it. Zipit.com.
Zipit.com?
But I think it was Dr. Evil talking to his son or whatever.
I haven't seen that movie in the longest time.
A bunch of them, yeah, Zip It. So yeah, exactly. So just don't say anything, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I think that's an impossible feat for
Zippy long stocking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
That's something. I mean, the guy he talks. He talks. So can we expect him to say more things? Of course.
Ramin, what are you doing back there?
The best thing that we can do is just be prepared and be prepared for anything and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
We talk about you got to be a warrior in a garden, right?
Yeah. Rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. That's for sure.
There you go.
I can tell you that without any question. Scotty don't. Yeah, Scotty don't. Yeah. Anyways, I didn't get I heard Adara. I didn't get the green light. Let's rock and roll, Adara.
So Powell finished his prepared remarks. Now Fed Chair Powell is going to be taking questions for 30 minutes. So prepared remarks over, 30 minutes of questions. He seemed a little daunted by the amount of time of those questions, but either way, they will be happening, and I will keep you all posted. Back to you.
What's going on?
The top two.
Oh boy.
Ramin is the new IT individual. Now she's got something going on there. She's under the desk. It's like a mechanic. She's asking me to help her out, troubleshoot. She's just eliminating screens one by one over there. Oh, okay, the top left there is rocking and rolling, Ramin. You're good. All right, guys, let's see if we can get this cooking. I mean, again, we're holding this a little bit more. If it comes back down, then we'll add to the position. There you go. You're good now. And we're looking at the overall market as well, too. The thing is, though, we tried multiple shorts. I think the better trade of the day for me personally was that IBIT long, and it's just unfortunate that we didn't hold on to it long enough. I mean, you can call me Devin Haiti today, and I won't get offended. Look at this VWAP bounce on IBIT, still down 3%. Maybe I got to buy a little bit of this stuff, and BMNR as well, too. But there's IBIT. I just don't want to buy anything. Joy Panic strikes again, says Artemis. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it that. If you want to compare yearly P&Ls, then I would gladly do so. DM me on X, and we'll definitely go band for band there, Artemis. Put your money where your mouth is. Adara, what do you got?
Fed Chair Powell indicating that inflation is still on the way up. So yeah, Powell's saying inflation is actually still on the way up, and if the Fed moves too quickly, it may leave the inflation job unfinished. So I guess his fear here is that if they start moving rates now, they won't be able to adequately deal with inflation. So interesting look, he said that there's a risk of a slow pass-through of tariffs that will start to look like persistent inflation. So tariff concerns and inflationary concerns weighing on Powell's mind here, guys. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, good stuff. So, I mean, there was the long there on IBIT. We get that full move, we add, and then we just got out. Then we got the shorts, but there's just no continuation to the downside, right? Everything just get bought right back up. So yeah, you definitely want to look for the long. There goes Amazon putting in a new high of the day. So we don't got too much more. We'll give it $1. If it decides to climb up to $2.19, then we'll just hop out and take an additional loss there. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be bigger. It's not good. Our risk is slowly starting to decay away from us. So again, patience is really, really key. Let's see if we can get this. I'm not going to add anything more, but we might be able to find a top. Let's take a look at the chain to see if we have any forms of open interest that are going to be like, hey, yeah, this is where we're going to go to. We get the magnet effect. We move into those specific levels, or it's just going to be like, you know what, there's nothing substantial there. We're just going to grind higher and higher and higher. And I don't know what's up with this. Let's get this sorted out. Bang, bang. You just got to scroll it a couple times, and sure enough, they'll come in. But a lot of these at-the-money contracts aren't showing any open interest. But 220, bang, we're getting the volume in on that one. So I'm curious to see what more we got there. But Amazon been a steady uptrend on today's session, all the way from the lows of 212 to 218. My days, that's all I'm looking for. Well, a lot of my swing trades, guys, full disclosure, I'm looking for 5 points, right? Like, so when I put on a trade, it's like, okay, 5 points, whether it be a couple hundred shares, 100 shares, 5 contracts, 7 contracts, 10 contracts. 5 points is always my objective. I don't know why. I just feel that's like a number that I like. I find a level, I try to grab off the lows, and then I start piecing out at 5 points higher. But there goes Amazon OB just continuously grinding. I'm going to hop out of this momentarily.
Yeah, the thing is, this market is continuously grinding to the upside, right? So if you take a look at both the futures here on the right side of my screen, we're coming into that, we're attempting to push into that 25,000, just about 100 points away from that one. 24,900 is the Nasdaq right now with the 6,700 on the ES. You've got the SPY running, the Q's running, I just said that. Nvidia is attempting to push as well. There's that bid coming in. Tesla's also pushing higher day as of right now. So Tesla's almost back at prior day's close. So, oh boy, on that one. So bidding all the way from day's low, maybe a reversion into prior day's close. Amazon's pushing for the same as well. Alphabet's already done that. Yesterday you asked me if there was one stock, it was Google. And Google is definitely relatively strong here as it's straight line up. So Google is one of the stocks that is literally a straight line up right now. So let's take a quick look at that one. Strength, absolute strength on this one, Joe. Crazy.
On
Google, on goggles.
Yeah.
These goggles, 240s all the way to 247s. Bit of a supply area from last week. That was the selling that came in on Thursday, and that reference high is about 2770. So 2770 currently trading at 4770, 247.70. Currently we're trading at 46 half. So just about $1 away from there, grinding up a little bit higher. What else do we got here? Apple's almost at high a day. So yeah, we're seeing the Mag 7 taking a bit of a turn, 100% reversion almost across a few names of that initial sell-off. So Nvidia's almost there, not quite there just yet. That's a little bit higher, but actually, you know what? That's the 9 o'clock 15 or 30-minute candle. Oh boy. Let's go down to a 15. Let's go down to a 3. What is the opening range high? What is the opening prices right here? I'm looking at 184.76. Oh boy, there's some bid right there. 184.15 is currently trading. So can this go back through open on Nvidia? We already were gapping down, and sellers were aggressive off of the gap down that happened in the morning on Nvidia. So beautiful continuation if you're looking for that gap down pre-market low fail breakdown. That's 183 halves, and guess what? 183 halves did not look back all the way down into 179.70s. Oh boy. Some of these pre-market levels, man, when they go, they go. Sometimes they don't, but that's the thing. The better ones, they just keep going. That's the kind of look there. I'm still watching Walmart here. Did participate. Don't forget, I did say earlier, just taking the reps right now in the sim, but taking real reps, taking reps that I would probably take and definitely take if I was trading live as well. So that's the idea here. Even when I'm practicing, you got to practice like you play. Right? We hear people say this all the time. You don't want to, how do you say, ruin that process, ruin the mental. We already ruined the mental this morning, so this is my exercise for getting back in the zone, back in the game, making real decisions, so we can come back tomorrow a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit harder, and maybe a little bit faster as well.
Ooh,
so
a little bit faster.
We'll see if Walmart can push through that reference high. We said 106. What was that reference high? Let's pull it up and let me show it to you guys real quick. So 106.58 was that reaction high on the OpenAI. We're coming into that level right now with a grinding bid and stair-stepping. This consolidation was huge. I like this consolidation as well, but we're getting a little extended here. Let's see if we can push, what is it, 20, 30 pennies more roughly, and then take out some of those highs. Oh boy, some of those algos that came in and maybe took that reversion back down, absolutely beautiful. That happened real quick. Maybe they're starting, well, algos don't really sweat, but you know what I mean. Maybe they're starting to ramp up some of those gears for those potential stops. So we'll see, I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just blabbering. Market's really strong. If the market continues to stay strong, Walmart, better probability. What am I looking at?
You weren't buying in 08, brother?
Dude, I wasn't buying in 08, man. You weren't buying in 08?
No,
I thought I was, dude. Should have been buying in 1980.
Freaking hell, man. I mean, this stuff, the grand scheme of things.
I mean, if you bought specific stocks, if you bought market leaders in 01, you're not doing too hot right now. I don't know. We'll be right back from the dairy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep an eye here on the market. Fed Chair Powell talking about data here with regards to, of course, the government shutdown and how that impacts employment and inflation data. He said that private data is going to be a little bit better for employment than it will be for inflation. But he said the issue is Fed's going to be missing some data and it'll become more challenging if the shutdown continues here and if October data is delayed. Now, in case you guys missed it, some prediction markets are pricing in that this shutdown is going to go till November 16th, I believe, which would make it the longest shutdown in U.S. government history. So it could be unlikely that they'll actually end up having these numbers. But back to you.
Thank you for that one there. Yeah, let's take a look at HIMS for you there, my friend. Daily day trade. Do you play options on earnings? I am selling outside of the expected move on stock on earnings. I usually don't, but if I am, it's going to be like a straddle or just straight up contracts. I usually wait for a while after, regardless of what happens. I talk about options trading all the time. There's a lot of individuals here on the floor that we agree upon the same things, and even a lot of savvy vet traders, is that there's a time and a place for them. Yeah, for me personally, it's just not a vehicle that I use for every single trade. Do I implement them as much as I possibly can? Obviously, but I'm in no rush to get into them. If the trade tells me like, hey, let's rock and roll, let's get a little bit heavier, let's leverage the system, then that's when I use them. Other than that, options. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at HIMS there for you. And yeah, what I was getting at is, other than that, just use a hybrid system. I think that's where you're best off. I know Ozan loves to just trade straight out contracts all the time. And to each their own, right? If that's what you're comfortable with. I know Ozan's got a lot of the right, so by all means, he continued to check out Bull. Air has been beaten down. Risk reward play. Exclamation mark says keep fighting. Yeah, we're always, man. We're always in the grind. Shout out to HIMS there. A support level right there. You're getting a little bit of a bounce. Could there just be a rebound day? I think so. So be patient. We're all out of Amazon as it's continuously grinding higher now. 219s. Wow. 219s on Amazon. Still down 0.5%, but a big time recovery. HIMS, again, I'm not going to be getting involved in. That's just me personally. Intraday, a lot of chop. You can see the ebbs and flows here within this price action, so just keep an eye out on that there. But now, as for Tesla high of the day, TQs, yeah, there's no shorts today. There's no shorts, lads. That's just here it is. Smooth, my fellow drink. Here's a play. CMG, go make some money. Swing this, bro. All right, I'll take a look at that one for you. Chipotle Mexican Grill. When was the last time you had Chipotle, Obi?
I think I had Chipotle for the first time, I think I had Chipotle for the first time, I think like sometime last year.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
And then Chick-fil-A as well.
For the first time?
For the first time. Again, that was, that was...
I've only had it a couple times.
I'm super impressed with Chick-fil-A.
You were impressed?
I'm so impressed.
Really?
Just the level of efficiency.
Oh, the customer service
The customer
is
service, absolutely crazy. Like, the burgers are okay. They're pretty decent. I like them. They're not bad, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, literally, the level of efficiency that happens is just amazing. Yeah. Like that is like, I think, peak fast food.
Yeah.
You go in, you have your order, you give them your name. It's like which fast food place brings your food to you?
Yeah.
Right. To your table, so you can just go grab a seat. They'll bring it to you. So that's amazing. Within 120 seconds of the order.
That's crazy.
I timed this.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes.
I'll tell you one thing. When I
placed my order.
Yeah.
And go sit down, I had my burger.
When I was in Dallas, downtown Dallas, and went to the Chick-fil-A there, dude, they're coming by you. They're like, hey, do you want a refill on your pop? They're taking your drink away, taking the lid, giving you a new straw and everything. They're like, hey, you want more dipping sauce? So it's like, hey, you're almost at a 5-star restaurant, but
they have a compressor in their garbage. That was crazy.
Was that?
That was
okay.
So I went to go throw out the garbage after I was done, right? I could it was like hold on 1 second, it's compressing. So I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Oh,
so it has a machine that pushes the garbage
like the
down.
Garbage truck.
So it's like, okay, so first of all you're compacting the garbage in-house, right? And then you're throwing it out. You have less time spent by your employees that are taking the trash out. Right? So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like the small things, the simple things. Whoever those engineers are at Chick-fil-A, they're doing an
Neil's saying Rigetti. Neil's saying Rigetti. Yeah, there goes Rigetti.
QBTS as well is running.
Filling that gap, quantum space. Oh, let me guess, it's running. All right, so there it is. What was the?
I wonder if Shkreli's
what was the quantum ETF?
ARQQ?
No, there's a quantum ETF. QUTM, yeah, QUTM. Bang. How's it been doing? Let's take a look at this from a daily standpoint. What's going on here? It's not very liquid.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're not.
That VanEck Computing ETF, VanEck Quantum Computing ETF.
That's the thing. So some of those ETFs are not really.
Katina, man, you froze my thing with that one there, brother.
Think.
That's all right. I'm only playing. I was looking at this CIBR. Cybersecurity ETF. If we can get that up, man, I want to get involved in that without any form of concern. That might be my next allocation. I'm sitting on my QTUM. Yes, QTUM. Thank you very much. I'm sitting on cash in my swing account, 100% cash, just to trade Blue Ocean with, because I sold all my contracts, everything like that. And I'm sitting on like about 5% in the long term, which I'm just ready to gobble some stuff up. There it is, the Quantum ETF. From those April lows, 62 bucks, you're almost up 100% right there, 82. So almost a double. And then CIBR, we like this one a lot from the daily, not too bad from that perspective. But then we had CYBR, which is CyberArk, that I want to get involved in, waiting for some pullback on that. Gobble it up, exactly, Thomas Condo. That's what I just want to eat a lot of these ETFs, brother. Get involved with them, just get the mass exposure instead of going with individual names, more conservative, and then essentially what happens, whatever gains from other underlying assets, I'll just remove from that and then start buying some other things there. If you were talking ETFs, guys, please look at URA for the fam. Anything for West, y'all, URA ETFs. What is this one? The uranium ETF. For the family, says West, y'all. Anything like this, man, oh man, you can't go wrong with some of these things there. Obi, look at this monstrous run in this name.
Oh, yeah.
Off those April lows, 20 bucks. Now you're north of 60,
long
200.
And strong uranium for sure.
Long and strong, too.
Yeah.
So shout out to the ETF land, ETF Landia. It's looking really good, especially we just went over the Qs as well, too, SPY. So get involved in a lot of them. Some of them are still relatively cheap, in my opinion. Am I going to be buying them all the way up here? No. I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback, maybe just to get the feet wet, and then you just buy more aggressively on any form of pullback. A lot of people saying bubble this, bubble that, but I think if the bubble can continue to expand, and is it ever going to burst? Who knows? Only time will tell. You have to be patient on that one. Darwin, that one blew his mind, says ADL, shout out to you. But other than that, Obi, Amazon continuing to grind 219, Wells Fargo back up to 84.5. We got Goldman Sachs hovering around the volume weighted average price. BMNR putting in a couple of signals, but we will not be shorting just yet, my friends.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Walmart's coming into those areas, 106.50s. It's trading at now. So 106.58 we said was that reference high from this pre-market. Just want to continue to kind of point that out there. So 106.58. We're just a few pennies away from there, 5 pennies away from the ask there as we're trading on 53s. So interesting stuff. Nice continuation of this trend happening here. So kind of to reiterate, we had this very strong consolidation in and around this area. We broke out of that 105 over an hour-long consolidation above some of these reference highs right there, and beautiful continuation happening. And we get that market tailwind alongside as well, so that's definitely some wind in our sails. QBTS, another one. Again, we just pointed out, I'm watching this one. QBTS right here, aggressive bid. Where will it stop? Nobody knows, but eyes on for when that bid finally does dissipate. What's going on in there?
Yeah, Powell was just asked here about the, I guess, heightened scrutiny with regards to Fed decisions as of late. And he said, the Fed is going to keep making the decisions they make. It'll be obvious if they make changes based on politics. But he said overall, these decisions are going to be close calls that happen in real time. Consensus is great, but the overall goal of the Fed is to get to the right policy decision. So to let you guys know, Fed is addressing that, or sorry, not Fed, Chair Powell is addressing that. Bit of a move down here in the market. It is worth noting here, could be some geopolitical updates. Donald Trump saying that apparently phase 2 of Gaza and the Middle East plan begins right now. It is worth noting he is set to meet with the Argentine president here at 1 p.m. So I'll be keeping an eye on that too. Back to you.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, we're just one truth post away from, one more truth post away from just hopefully tanking the market. So hopefully I'm not saying hopefully, but I just want to buy these names at lower prices. How do you feel about that?
A little bit. I mean, I feel like that's the thing to do. I think I was saying this yesterday, right? So I explained. So my younger sister, she's gotten into the stock market as of recent. She was talking about it with me all of the beginning of the year when we had that initial drop. She's like, yeah, I definitely want to get involved. And I told her, I was like, hey, listen, wait for those days where we sell off pretty aggressively and make sure you can you have some shots to pick some up. So guess what? She messages me on Friday after the market closed, and she's like, hey, guess what? I picked up some Qs and SPY. And I was like, absolutely amazing. I was like, solid, good stuff.
After the selling too?
Like on the selling. She saw that we had sold off. I told her, I was like, look for discounts, and look for days where we get aggressively sold. And I kind of reminded her, I was like, I sent her this thing where he's talking about, okay, the market has pullbacks over time. It'll have 10% pullbacks. It'll have every now and then it'll have a 25% pullback. We're in bear. That's when we can be in like a bear market. But over time, if you kind of participate in things like the SPY or the Nasdaq, those are some of the best times to buy. Over time. So I was so proud. She's like, yeah, I bought some. I was like, get ready to buy more if we get lower. And she's like, I know. She's doing well. So I am definitely an advocate for when things are on sale. I like them better. I think that's what it is. Right?
Oh, yeah, me too.
I was literally saying last week, being like, oh, you guys think inflation's not here? It's literally costing me more dollars to buy the same stocks that I want. So when they get on a discount, like a Thursday, Friday, when we have a sale like that, maybe, I don't know.
That's not a fire sale. I want a fire sale.
I'm not saying like, okay, I don't know if that's the market top. It could very well be. It could be that you buy there and then we never look back. But that's not what I'm trying to go for.
The thing is, though, Obi, we're rolling into earnings season. And if we get some moves to the downside in some strong names like the Mag 7, if any of them happen to miss on any form of estimates, like Google misses on cloud, which I highly doubt. I'm just saying, speaking hypothetically, it's like full on. I'm blue ocean. I'm at whatever time of the day it is. I'm looking to get involved in some of these the mega caps for sure and take them for potential swing trades, especially if they get oversold to the downside. So. That's what I'm looking for, man.
I'm buying some things as well. They're not Mag 7 related, but I'm looking at certain things that, like, okay, maybe these are getting poised for the next cycle, right? So it's just like, what are some things that are potentially like, I like the stocks that are kind of beaten down and they don't really have much more selling left in them, or it doesn't look like it. And it's kind of showing us because bad news won't sell it off. Maybe even good news won't sell it off either. But any sort of catalyst. We kind of observe that with Intel over the past couple of years, where it's just like, it was kind of down in the dumps even throughout the whole time where AMD and Nvidia and a lot of AI-related stocks were just ripping. Intel didn't really do too much for the past couple of years. And finally, it was kind of beat down. Any sort of bad news and even good news, we just stayed within that range. But finally, we've started to break out. So maybe kind of like an example. But that's the idea there. We'll be right back from Madeira.
Yeah, keep an eye here on the market, specifically some of these AI plays like Oracle. I'm seeing a report here from the Associated Press that when Donald Trump meets here with Javier Milei, that they are likely to discuss the Stargate possibility for Argentina. So we know Project Stargate here with, amongst others, Oracle, OpenAI, etc. Now, apparently, Trump and Milei are reportedly going to be discussing the possibility of a Stargate-like project.
Definitely coming into play. Just had to be patient enough. 15 million candle on SPY, says flow grade. Yeah, it's in there, right? I just told myself that I wasn't going to take it again just to save the mental frustration. But as soon as you get at these highs, this is what we're looking for. You have to be patient enough. When did that come in? Around 1 o'clock-ish. Yeah, above 1250 right there. Boom. Now you're moving to the downside. Look, same thing there. Same thing here. You don't break through the high, heading back in towards the volume weighted average price. Same thing here on the SPY as well, too. So inverted prints, no volume supporting that type of thesis right now, but they're starting to really come back in. So, yeah, it's overextension. I think at some point things were going to cool down. Amazon coming back in. Gaurav, hopefully, I don't know if you're still holding on to that one. I'm out of it. It climbed. We were in at 218s or whatever it was. Climbed $1 against me. Got out of that trade. So yeah, I'm just gonna run through the scanners once more, see if we can find any quality opportunities. As our guy Mitch Hogue would like to say, we look for those laggards. So we'll pull those back. This is me messing around with thing last night. Where was I going to? All right, so let's take a look at this. So NVDA grinds higher, north of that volume weighted average price, 181 all the way up to 184. NVTS was this, Navis Semiconductor Corp. Okay, very interesting stuff. RGTI on the warpath, coming back in a little bit here. TSL, INTC, Katina Man, you're reloaded INTC? You're long or short? Short Marvell, Katina. There goes it. There you go. Bang. Hit it. It went upside there. All right. So reverse that. Reverse that one there. Reverse it. Okay. Bang. All right. Ford. Let's see what's going on with that one.
Of bang? What is that? If we were to come up with one.
Fail.
Yeah, but it's not as it doesn't have like the it's not as
It's not as dramatic. Yeah. No. Can we do this?
Slam. No, I don't know.
Slam. What is the opposite of bang? That's a great question.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what about that? You know that the sound from Roblox? Not Roblox.
Yeah, it's Roblox.
Is it Roblox? Okay. We'll be right back from Madeira.
When that's like
Intel breaking out here. We have news on Intel. They're revealing another data center GPU called Crescent Island. This follows another GPU update for Intel last week called Panther Lake. This one is now Crescent Island. That's going to be a 160 gigabyte energy efficient data center GPU. So that's on watch here being reported. Back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, there goes Intel. See what's going on there. We'll pull that up here. Joby, oh my day, Sharif. I know you're watching. Oh, what a recovery there, my boy. Right there on Joby. Look at this, straight to the top side. There's like 6 red candles on the 5 minute there. If we go to a higher time frame, oh. All right, bang, just get it in there. All right. You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside. All right, so don't forget you guys have the option to like and subscribe, but I would most definitely exercise that option and look to like and subscribe because it's good and we get to have a good fun time here. There goes Joby on the 15-minute. Nice print there, no volume supporting it. Let's pull up INTC. Enough of this noise, guys. Let's get back into it. There goes the crypto space once again, bouncing off of the volume-weighted average price. Insane. INTC. What's going on? What do you got going on here? Oh, bang. There it is, 3606, starting to climb higher. There's some of those wicks there. Let's pull it up on a clearer chart. INTC. Can you do the laughing soundboard? Absolutely, brother. I know we want to hit that one, but let's be a little bit patient and wait for that prime time opportunity. Let's see if we can find something that's going to give us some a good conviction to hit that laughing, because that's definitely one of the hottest ones out here. Jake, okay, and anyways, you guys got going on, we would disagree on that. You guys do your own thing, just keep it PG and have respectful conversations, as it seems like you guys are doing over there. Los Polos, you mean 5 minute? What else we got going on? Yeah, there's the hammer candles at those lows. So what that tells me is that we ain't going any lower today, Jack. That's a fact, Jack, says our guy Mike P. DeRider, who has taken the day off. Dara, what do you got?
Yeah, so another update here for Intel. Apparently, they're adding that new GPU to their AI accelerator portfolio. In case you guys missed it, they have that new Crescent Island GPU. They're also apparently adding a new graphics processing unit to expand their AI accelerator lineup. Now, circle on watch as well. Keep an eye on stablecoin related names as Stripe adding a stablecoin payment option here for subscriptions. So again, Stripe payment processor going to be adding stablecoin payments for subscriptions. It is worth noting comments from Fed Chair Powell are coming to an end there. Looks like that talk has ended. He stood up out of his chair. Powell's done, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Adair, for that one there. Bang, bang, da-doom. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. Obi, anything that is starting to catch your eye?
I mean, I guess that QBTS caught my eye a little bit there as we start to pull back. And another thing that is continuing to stay in my eye, we talked about that Walmart consolidation. I called this out. I was like, 105 consolidated for over an hour at the day's high. We pushed into 106s. I wasn't even there at 105. So I was like, oh boy, I missed that one there. But again, don't forget, trading in the sim today, shut down on AMD this morning.
Intel.
But taking the right kind of reps, as if you're playing the game. You're only playing the game. When you're practicing, you play like you're, play like you're playing the real game here. So, anyways, QBTS, yeah, a little bit of a chop here, so it did get involved, but let's see if it can kind of sustain this high a day. As of right now, strong bid here, all the way from 10:30 off of those day lows, all the way until now. It's about almost well, it is 1 o'clock right now. It's past 1 o'clock. That's let's see if the sellers can step in a little bit. Where is VWAP, you may ask? I'm looking at VWAP all the way down to 47s. I don't know if we're going to get all the way down to VWAP if this bid is that aggressively strong, but it's starting to break trend. It's starting to break some definitions of trend here, especially the tighter definitions of trend that we've been holding from that consolidation breakout, high a day breakout, pre-market high breakout on QBTS, and maybe that 42 prior day high breakout as well. So that 42 is what I'm watching as well. So that was resistance yesterday. We haven't really seen it turn into support. Let's see if that 42 turns into support, or do buyers step it up even more? That's the question that I'm asking. So Walmart seems like it wants to come down a little bit with a little bit of a distinction there. So that was nice. I liked it, but I'm kind of, you know what? I don't really want to be in there anymore as of right now. But great move. It could still continue to go. It hasn't necessarily broken trend, but maybe some tape coming in right now. But I don't really want to kind of. Being that anymore. That being said, it could go to 107s. It could go to it could go past 107s, right? Mm-hmm. But that initial high, that high from the pre-market session was right at 58s. We pushed that 58. We got to the next quarter, which was the 75. So current high a day is 106.81. We keep pulling back like 15, 20 pennies and then bidding right back up. There's definitely a little bit of a buyer here on Walmart today, but I just want to sell into that strength. That's the only reasoning there. That's the rep that I want to take, the decision making that I want to have there. What do you got going on for us?
All right. In Africa, a new generation of leaders is rising. The woman boss empowers them. We provide the training and mentorship women and girls need to start businesses, create change, and build sustainable futures. We've already impacted over 10,000 lives. Your contribution creates the next opportunity. Scan the QR code. Empower the next woman leader today. Check that out today. Ramin's struggling over there. Yeah, I mean, okay, we took a little scalp on INTC. Not a bad move there on the pop momentum to the top side. Bang, and then we only took a little bit off, comes back against us, and now things are starting to cool off. There goes the crypto space off of VWAP one more time. I think that ship has sailed. So let's see if we can find an additional opportunity. I don't love the positioning of anything right now, so I got to be really, really patient and risk adverse here, just in case, because if anything steps in around 2 o'clock, 2:30, I want to be able to participate on that front there, Obi. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Let's hop on the 1 minute time frame. You can see the selling pressure in INTC slowly starting to kick in. PA is not that clean, right? Like, it's not curling over or anything. You get buyers pushing it, sell. The same type of noise as usually typically. From a daily standpoint, Donald Trump takes stake in INTC. Bang, you're off to the races on that one. So you buy it after that, $30. Bang, you get up to 40. So anything along those lines, as soon as this guy truths anything, I'm long it. Whatever it's referring to, yeah, that's it, right? It's that simple. I'm not going to complicate it or anything in that realm there, Obi. It's just he mentions the name, boom, staking it, boom, right away, buying. So yeah, let's see what we got going on. Brian Hart, I want what's the Trader TV TikTok? I don't know how else. I can't help her right now, Ozan. I'm here on the desk. INDI says sports and stonks. Let's take a long on that. Let's take a look at that one, not necessarily a long, and see what we got going on that. I haven't looked at Tesla too much, but what was INDI, Indy Semiconductor, yeah, consolidating. So it might break out here. You have this bull flag starting to be formed. Catch the lower end of the range, and maybe you'll get a little bit of continuation to the top side there. As for Tesla, let's pull it up. Let's get Apple off of the charts. See what Tesla's up to. Ozan, Tesla long, baby, especially if we can break 435 to the top side, he says. All right, so we're already into that gap. Running into some, see, look at us reject that pre-market low pretty aggressively, puts the inverted right there. Then price says, yeah, you know what? Never mind shorts. We're going to step right back in. Buyers step in on that hammer candle and continue to grind. Holder, critical, alt, escape, $2 super chat. SoFi, my goat, he says. Let's take a look at SoFi. Yeah, I mean, this thing has been absolutely phenomenal as of late. and it's looking really good off of those April lows. Big time move up, 218%. It's a thing of beauty, my friend. It's a thing of beauty. So shout out to Critical Escape. What's my good friend Vlad Tanev and company up to? Bang, a nice little rebound. We sold at 22s. We sold half at 22s. All right, and it decides to climb a little bit higher, 25 points. To be almost exact there, 23 points. Joe, can I cash now? Can I advise on what, my friend? What can I advise on? So yeah, I mean, I like Robinhood. I like some of these fintech names. And there goes the crypto space grinding higher again, and there goes the market right back towards the high of the day there, Obi.
Yeah, the market's attempting another push there, and Walmart continues to stay strong, man. Like I said, this could very well go a little bit higher. Just didn't feel comfortable staying in, but it is what it is. You know, to each their own. In terms of a trend, it hasn't necessarily broken. Look at this trend, man. This is a 3-minute chart, absolutely clean. Even if you threw up some of those moving averages on here, you can see how clean it's holding. Yeah, a little bit of a wick shimmy dance every now and then through maybe what you're defining as that short-term trend, but overall, buyers just keep stepping in on this name here on Walmart. Nice continuation through that high. So I guess this was kind of target-ish, where I was like, all right, if it can kind of push through these, I'm looking to take it into some just a little bit higher there, through where some of that supply did come in the pre-market session. So Walmart, great push on that one there. Let's see, rather than buy the dip opportunity. So Nick asking, can you explain that QBTS short? Don't see why you took that as a reversion rather than to buy the dip opportunity. This sector is very strong, not only on the daily, but also today off of those lows. No, you're definitely right, man. I said, yeah, let me talk about that QBTS. So I'm likely going to be wrong on that if it's going to come in once again and stop me out here. But I'm willing to take multiple shots at this one, right? So yeah, very, very strong on the day. I was just looking for a quick counter trend scalp, which it did give me right off of the bat, but maybe I was looking for too much. I was looking for a pullback into 42s here, but we started to slow down. So the only reasoning really was that we had an aggressive bid for a while, and the first sign of a bit of a slowdown, so I'm getting involved with that, participating with what I think is potentially the exchange of hands in terms of control for this, just a short amount of time, right? Just a short amount of just a short frame. This is you are 100% right. This is very strong on the day. The sectors are squeezing. The intradays are the stocks are squeezing. You know that there was some popular I guess people. Shkreli, he was like, "Oh, I'm short some of these quantum names." But he got blasted. You know what? It happens. It happens. You know,
people get blasted, man.
You want to get involved with the front side on things that you don't necessarily understand. Not saying he's not a smart guy. It's just not his niche, right? It's just he's really good at understanding biotech and science that's related in and around that. So he can call the fugazi when companies report certain drugs working in certain types of ways, right? But when it comes to something like a quantum, yeah, a lot of this stuff is straight speculative. They're getting billion-dollar valuations. They don't really make that much money at all. It was funny. I saw a post recently saying this. It's just like, yeah, most of these companies don't even make more money than like a Starbucks location. So you know what I mean? I thought that was pretty funny. I forget who that X post was from, but absolutely hilarious. You know, you see thousands of posts pretty much every day, and yeah, some good stuff there for sure. So here's some selling coming in on the back through 43 here. Let's see if that can kind of sustain. I'm looking for a potential 42 push. All it is just the reasoning was buyers were there. Buyers were kind of look like they're done. Market shows that they're kind of slowing down. Sellers look like they're stepping in. So I'm getting involved. I can keep it just as simple as that. Whether it'll work or not, whether we consolidate here, push those highs into the end of the day, yeah, that's very possible. We can see how strong this was end of day as well, right? Even when something is aggressively uptrending, I like, you know, yes, it's very valid to get involved with that and take that continuation. I'm a little bit, I guess, on the other side of it. I'm just like, okay, it's showing me that there's buyers, so I want to participate as soon as it's showing me otherwise. So I'm looking for that moment of distinct difference. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You confluence that with actual setup, playbook setups, then you have maybe a trade on your hands there. So that's kind of my reasoning there, a little bit of that QBTS. But again, don't know if I'm going to be right or wrong. We talk about this. Sometimes it's just like you got to know your own stats. When you're wrong, like over 50% of the time, you just got to be willing to accept those losses. You're willing to accept, okay, I'm going to be wrong more than 50% of the time. So how are you, if you knew you were going to be wrong 50% of the time, but you still knew that your systems were positive and profitable, how would you kind of act in that specific scenario? Would you get tilted with every loss that you took? Would you feel any type of way with all the losses that you take if you know that you're going to be losing, let's say about 70% of the time? Right?
Yeah.
That 30% of the time that you're on top kind of makes up for everything and more, right? So that's kind of the perspective there, or the reasoning in and around some of that. Now this could very well hold, right? Let's define some trends. If we're really going to talk about this, let's define some trends here. So okay, we started to break out. So we had this chop consolidation, and then we start to break out out of here, and we start to trend a little bit higher, right? We start to trend a little bit higher. It's consolidation, We extend away from that, and then if you're using this as a little bit of trend indicator, just this line, this very arbitrary line that I just drew on the chart, we're starting to come in and test a little bit of that, right? And if you want to be like, all right, no, I want to draw the trend from the low at A to the next point, or whatever you want. So, and that's if you want to do that way, that's coming in over here. So we're still kind of holding in and around this trend. So I'm watching this piece right here. If we do have any sort of a distinct break of this. How long has this trend been bidding up for? From the lows to the highs for about 2 hours and 48 minutes. So now we've seen stocks in this market pretty much trend all day long, 4 or 5 hours straight. So the bid can be pretty aggressive on some of these names. Now, reasonably so. We talk about how some of these quantum names, there's a lot of players that are sitting short on these, swinging short on these, and getting absolutely blasted. Maybe initiating swing shorts every single day, getting blasted and then retrying because they're trying to catch tops, right? They think the sector is overextended, but guess what? The market's going to stay a lot more irrational from your perspective than you can stay liquid. Right? Market doesn't care if what you think, if the price action you think is irrational, it really doesn't care.
Nope.
Right? So that's the case there. So I don't know. A little bit of I just want to participate with some selling that I saw.
The big boys.
Don't know if this is going to be it. More than willing to be wrong there. Right?
All right. Good stuff there. All right, we got some important stuff there. Ob, Tab TV Gaming, the forgotten forgotten mentions. I got Tesla, OB, at 417.5 puts expiring this Friday. Beginning off Friday, I'm down 60% on it. How would you deal with this position? What's the smartest thing to do here? All right, let's see how much did you pay for those? Let's pull that up and everything along those lines. You're down 60%, so we'll add a little bit to those value, to that value a little bit. But we're gonna exercise our potential opportunities that we can kind of just mitigate. We're gonna pull these up. It's Tuesday, it expires in 3 days. We got the 417.5s on the put side. Sorry, those are worth $3.65. Right now, so at some point I think you bought them for around $7. There goes Intel to the top side. We're long this one. We'll take 10 cents on that one. Not too bad there. So yeah, there's a couple things that you can do, right? Which isn't bad for today. You can roll these over, right? So you're gonna pay the difference in between the premium. Go Intel, go, you dog. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Ramin. All right, we'll take a little bit off there. So this is what we're gonna do, Tab TV Gaming. So what you can do essentially, if you want to remain bearish, okay? What we can do here is we can roll over to the next week's expiration cycle. So you're just gonna pay the difference within the contracts, which isn't that good. right? You got to pay substantially more. The more that I look at it is not a pretty premium. But what you can do right now to mitigate some of those losses, I don't know how many contracts you have, but what you can do, or was I on the bid there? So those were 355. You can go down to the 410s, and you can collect $2.10 per combination, right? So it's not going to completely write off all those losses, but it will mitigate it, right? So if you have 3 contracts, you paid approximately, what were they, $6 each. So you paid $18, we'll say, on for those 3 contracts. You can collect 600, and you end up, instead of losing 1,800 or $2,000, you can collect 600 and lose 1,400 bucks, right? Or $1,200, whatever it may be. So that's one thing that you can do, is you can write those once they expire worthless. Then sure enough, you keep that premium, but you also lose the whole amount of premium on your previous ones. Another thing that you can do is go to a further expiration cycle, which I wouldn't suggest considering today's price action and what we're experiencing on buy the dip, and Tesla continuously climbing higher. You can buy that, extend it a little bit more, and then write something. So say if you were going to go and buy these, you can roll that over, which I highly wouldn't suggest. We're just kind of exercising our opportunities. Those are worth $16. You have to pay the difference, but you can write the 410s and collect $13, right? So you also need a little bit more of that capital, but that's something that you can do for your situation right now. I would just go with maybe cutting your losses short, or writing a little bit here at the 410 strike price. That's something that I would do in specific. So yeah, that's the really important thing with those losses, with the options contracts. You have to have in a stop loss, otherwise you're going to have a really bad time. Only 1 contract. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you get 1 contract, not too bad, 600 bucks, right? You can write that for 210, collect $210, and then sure enough, you only lose 400 at the end of the day. We could survive that. You can just also average into the premium price and save expiration, rolling it over. That's what I was saying, B-Bowling. But I wouldn't suggest averaging in. I don't think that's a good idea right now, considering what we're seeing with the market. You're going to continuously roll over puts and just pay the difference in the premium. I personally wouldn't do that. That's just me. Again, roll it over, you pay a little bit more, you pay the difference. But 1 contract, I think that's survivable, down 60%. Write it, get out of there, and look for that next trade there, OB.
Yeah, for sure. And the next trade potentially happening here on Walmart, as again, I like that push into those highs there. Sure, didn't get the high, not going to be able to clip highs and lows like that. But you can see here a little bit of a pullback off of 106.92s, and when the sellers come in there, you can see on the break of that short-term trend, pretty aggressive selling. So we drop all the way from 90s back down to 40s as of right now. So yeah, nice little push into some of those highs, those pre-market highs is what I'm talking about here on Walmart. It seems like QBTS, I'm definitely going to be wrong on this one, as it's ripping to the upside there on that. So Nick, it seems like that dip buy was definitely much better, a much better idea that's working out nicely. Again, with trend, it's doing pretty well here. So almost back at those high days there on QBTS. Now this is a Tesla book. I gotta go back to QBTS, and that trades on the NYSE. So we can see the book here. It's only about 10 pennies away from that day high as of right now. 43.60s are the current prices on QBTS. So yeah, man, this quantum space absolutely strong, absolutely killing it with some of those longs there for sure. What do you got going on?
Wait, control alt escape. Buy 30 contracts, SoFi, 30 strike price. 16, it looks like they're expiring January 16. You advised on the dip, Joey, hard not to sell after today's move, but I'm looking for that big cash out. Spend the money. Spend the money. I mean, things can turn on a dime, but by all means, congratulations on those trades, man. Let them ride, let them ride, let them ride. For me personally, I just piece it out. Whatever I get from this market, I take, and I try to be happy with it there, OB. But there goes Intel. Not too bad of a move there, OB, on Intel, as we put in a new little bit of high. I got right back into that bad boy, and we'll take a little bit more out right there. Bang. Second on the reload on Intel. Sorry to interrupt you, brother.
No, no worries, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, interrupt me whenever you want, man. This market's absolutely crazy, and like I said before, if you're seeing something that's happening, I'm more than willing to kind of shift over to that potentially. Wow, sellers are definitely coming in here on Walmart. Oh boy, what a reversion there. Just like sometimes I find myself selling into reversions a little too early on the left side, and I was getting a little bit of that feeling there on the left side on Walmart, and when that right side selling steps in, oh boy, all the way from 80s to almost 20s now within a few minutes, within about 6-7 minutes there. But it took us forever to get up here. So yeah, a little bit of taking the stairs up and taking the elevator down happening here on Walmart. So or the escalator even. Sometimes it's an elevator, sometimes it's an escalator. It really depends. But distinctly different is the selling than the buying, because buying sometimes you can see it. Buying happens with a little bit more of a methodic push. Sometimes, especially like if it's not squeezing, that's different, right? And then selling comes in with a little bit more of a panic. There goes QBTS. So yeah, stopped out on the push through that high a day. It seems like we're going to be pushing even higher. This market pushing even higher. So against the trend, yeah, not going to more often than not, the counter trend trade is probably not going to work as often as you might think. So that's fine. Where is the next trade? That's what I'm looking for here. Seems like that quantum wants some more. So let's take a look at some of these other quantum names and kind of identify what's going on, if there is anything that is distinctly different amongst these. So I'm going to start off with IONQ. That hasn't hit high a day just yet. RGTI, let's go to that one right there. Okay, so RGTI, Rigetti's pushing for high a day as well. QBTS we're looking at. So QBTS almost at $44 there. And then QUBT as well. QUBT, okay, so 2180, 2192s are the highs. So QBTS seems like it is the one with relative strength. So it is the strongest of the bunch there. Oh boy, I was thinking about hitting the Walmart short, but I was like, I'm gonna be patient. I'm not gonna say here do it all, but we're gonna be a little patient with that one. But great selling on that. When that buying started to dissipate, started to slow down, we couldn't even get to 107s, and it's pulling all the way back down, almost a good 60-70 pennies now from the highs into 106.28. So where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for. That short was the long on Walmart was nice. The short is nice as well, and it seems like QBTS, the short definitely was not nice. We're attempting to push 44s as of right now. What else you guys got going on? Let me know. LAES saying sports and stonks. So let's take a quick look at LAES. Here, Seals Q Corp. Okay, 757 highs with this consolidation low coming in, or this dip low coming in at 686s. Where's that day low? Day low is at $6.09. So LES, interesting push there. It's giving us that continue. So buyers off of the open pull in about 50%, maybe just a little bit more of a retracement of this strong leg, and then buyers step right back in from those 668s there as of right now. So I don't know if we're going to get back all the way to the highs, but the buying definitely seems like it is definitely there. It was there in the morning. It's there once again as of right now in the midday session. Carter in the chat saying Circle. Okay, yeah, that's a name I haven't really participated in at least a few weeks, I would say. There's a time where I was just borrowing shares pretty much every single day for that QUBT, but it wasn't around for some of the stronger days there as well. You can see that Friday, pretty aggressive selling. It seems like this is the name whenever sellers find a good reason to get involved, they have been. So let's take a look at a higher time frame on this one. So a lot of players had this on watch. What is that blue line? Oh, it's a VWAP. Okay, cool. Had this stuff on watch. You can see beautiful swing short on that one, kind of sideways action, holding up pretty decently as of right now. But this is what I mean. Boom, selling. Consolidates. Friday happens, some more selling. So sideways action, bigger picture. As of recent, but even bigger picture, we've been in a downtrend and forming a little bit of a base that was on top of 100 off of the IPO.
It's a base.
And then maybe the base that steps higher on top of 120s. So that's what I got going on.
All right, rocking and rolling. Yeah, but let's pull up the old chart ski there. Assassino, thank you, my friend. So yeah, there it is. I mean, we get in there, momentum to the top side, it gets wigged out, hop right back in, we're piecing it out, and we still, excuse me, we still have 65% there. So let's see if we can get in a new high. If the shorts weren't working, well, guess what? You just flip the old screen up around and you go long. So trades don't work. Turn the screen around is what I was advised to do in my earlier days of trading, which kind of frustrated me.
No, you just got to turn it upside down.
That kind of frustrated me. I'm not even gonna lie. That when people said that, it's like, why are you making light? Even though I was just making light of it. And
of the position of like.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're wrong all the time, just turn the screen upside down, and then sure enough. You know
yeah, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it just. I think it goes to say like if you're wrong all the time, there's definitely something distinct there.
Yeah.
So you might want to be doing the opposite of what you're doing. I think that's pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked about this. It was just like when we were on the floor, we'd have our daily meetings and we'd go in and review our trades. There was a lot to learn from how people lose. Right, and some people
well, I think those were the most
lose kind of. Yeah, exactly. You learn the most. Some people, just back to back every day. You get to learn like what not to do. That's the biggest thing. What do you not do? And over time, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what the right thing to do is when you're starting off. But over time, once you accumulate and build, okay, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. Over time, your compass starts to align in the direction, in the right direction. So as a process of elimination of all the things you shouldn't be doing. But we'll be right back from Madeira.
Yeah, just be aware here, we have not had any commentary here from President Trump yet, meeting with Javier Milei of Argentina. They're set to meet outside the White House. There's coverage of that stream. I'm watching the stream right now. But either way, just a quick update with Trump. Now, keep an eye on NTAP. This did get a little bit of a pop higher here around 10 minutes ago. I'm just seeing this circulate on X now, though. Nvidia and NetApp announcing a partnership, guys. NTAP. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that one there, Adara. There it is. I think the crypto space might have put in a double top here. Same with the overall market, right? Like it looks like it's kind of toppy, but look how shallow these pullbacks are, and then they just get bought right back up. So keep that in mind. See similar PA right there on BM&R. There's IBIT right there as well too, guys. Same thing on the SPY and on the Qs. So keep an eye out for that. What's Tesla been up to? Toppy, nice signal right there, Gorev, so not too bad. Just the pullbacks are so shallow, my friend. Adam, 31. Any analysis for RGTI? Very anxious with 200 short at $34. Yeah. RAM 31. Let's take a look at that one. RGTI. I know you've been asking pretty. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, it's not too good. It's not good at all. I mean, you're short. You can buy puts, right? Sell puts. You can always sell puts at this point.
RGTI?
Yeah, that's the thing. What he said there, what he said is that he had a covered call scenario or something like that, and then eventually they got exercised and they got taken away, but he had more naked calls than what he did of actual shares, so they got called away. Yeah, that's really bad. How many shares did you say you had? 200? Ouch. Yeah, that is not good. 200 and you're 20 bucks out of the money. That's not necessarily a great day, but let's pull up our options chain and see what we can do for potential game planning here. RGTI, and then we're going to take a look at buying some of these puts at lower prices and see what they were going to be collecting them at. Because, I mean, you may as well just do that at this point, is just consistently roll over puts. This week is expiration, the at the monies, 55s. We don't want that. Let's go down to the 45s. So this is what you're collecting off the jump, right? So 121 bucks. You can take that out. And the objective would obviously be getting assigned at a lower price. Well, guess what? You can even roll it out a little bit later. We'll go to the October 31st. We'll go back down to those 45 strikes. You're collecting 300, roughly 300 bucks. So that's 600 bucks right there, especially if it doesn't continue to grind higher. You can collect a little bit more premium, but that's something that I would look to do. Considering you're already in the options writing game, you may as well go ahead and start writing some of these puts and mitigating those losses, unless you're willing to accept a big being short 200 shares of RGTI for the foreseeable future. Just go with the rolling of the puts options, selling them. I think that's your best idea. Who's rocking and rolling there? Assassina.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right. Which one is that? I could do it, no problem. Oh yeah,
okay,
for sure.
I can.
We got it. New traders.
There you go.
Listen up. I got it. That's right. Cool thing. First month free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with back testing, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading. Scan the QR code. Check the link in the description. So yeah, RAM 31. I think that's your best bet. Hopefully you were listening. Even if you go over to the November 45s, you're collecting 355. You get $700 bang right there on 2 contracts. Yeah, that's it, man. A little options writing. Yeah, when you run into trouble, it's not good to be in short shares, the space that's probably one of the hottest in the market right now.
Yeah,
so
it's because like especially if you're shorting overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are they can be kind of sketchy because you don't know what's going to happen overnight. Any sort of PR, you know that there's this crazy moves that are happening off of any sort of AI related or AI related, quantum related maybe as well. But I'm just talking about AI space and how that kind of action is happening. So if we get any sort of crazy kind of news on these quantum names, yeah, overnight or in the morning session, you can have in the pre-market session, you can have some crazy moves that could put you very much offside, especially if you're unable to take some of those options in the pre-market or after hour session, right? So I think that's something definitely you want to keep in mind and remember. Earlier on, we were talking about the whole the buying the SPY thing and what were the market leaders during the .com.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you look up
that? I have a little bit of the answer there. So yeah, of course, sheer size. So it says that the crash already kind of started. We were mid-crash in around 2000s. So 2001 was already mid-crash. So right before the crash is late 1999 to early 2000, and during that time, the price leaders were, I guess, Cisco. Cisco kind of had the #2 global market cap. At the time, there was JDS Uniphase, never heard of them. Ciena, never heard of them. Corning, who are those guys?
I know Corning.
Nortel, I might have heard of them. Lucent, who are those guys?
Again, Nortel.
Semiconductors and wireless, some of those we still have. Intel, Qualcomm, and Broadcom.
Kramer likes Nortel,
So they're still there.
I don't know.
Right? Yeah. So some of those names, they don't exist. Maybe they still exist, but I don't really see them. I'm not aware of them. Software enterprise, Microsoft, of course. Microsoft was there. Oracle, we still have. Sun Microsystems. I don't know who those are.
Don't know who those guys are.
And then EMC. There was internet portals as well. Yahoo, AOL. What happened to those guys?
Oh, whatever happened to AOL?
Right? So, but the thing is, SPY was still there.
SPY was still there.
SPY was still there. That was still around. That thing's been doing absolutely well. That stuck around, and that's why I say the SPY's almost rigged to do well because what they do over time is they bring in the best performers and they kick out the worst performers.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's almost poised to do well as long as you still have, and as long as you're still printing more money, as long as the economy is still going strong. I think that's a good SPY's a good indicator.
Yeah, absolutely. Obi, did you see Marathon Digital today?
No, what's happening on MARA?
Man, oh man. I have same, Madera, same. MARA, there it is. Someone else mentioned another name that I want to take a look at. Oh yeah, Gaurav mentioned something on NVDA. Let's see what we got going on. What is this name doing on the 1 minute, 5 minute right at VWAP? Have an indecision. Oh, bang, Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav, yes. Yes, my brother. Let's get involved in this as soon as possible. Every second that is wasted is a wasted opportunity there, Obi. Thank you, Gaurav. I'm waiting for this one all day. We'll hop in NVDL, now trading at 88 and change. A little bit of a pullback we're experiencing right there. But let's see what we can cook up here, my good friend. Let's start small. It's starting to come in a little bit more. I still like to print a lot there. The volume is supporting it. It is coming in pretty aggressively there, Gorev. So keep that in mind. But anything, if we hold these the body of that 1 minute candle low, then I like this a lot. Wells Fargo, no way. Wells Fargo all the way up to 85.71. So not too bad of a look there. Someone just mentioned another name that I caught at the corner of my eye. BTC is still climbing. Yeah, we were looking at BM&R and company. Let's see if NVDA can hold up this wick, and then we're going to get involved in that one there because we like everything that is kind of correlating with that right now. MARA is a data center play. I mean, it's a Bitcoin miner. But yeah, fiber needed for data centers. Glass. Okay, what's Glass up to? Glass door. Oh, you thought the darkness was your ally. What is that? Oops. GLAS. Okay, that's not even a name, so you're not even putting any tickers in there, actually. So, yeah, fiber optic is glasses, maybe what you're getting at there. But the IREN is moving. Holy IREN, everybody's saying. All right, let's get to that one ASAP, Obi. Yeah, I mean, this one's been an absolute grinder as well, too, man. So yeah, it's not too bad of a look. Hammer candle right after that 5 minute print. You get this opening range, you get that print, and then it's essentially gone all the way from the lows of 59, trading up to 70.54. So not too bad. Gorev, the thing is though, now that wick's starting to be filled here on NVDA, and I don't love it. Let's see, we're gonna get involved anyways because it's right at the volume weighted average price. We'll start really, really small here to see if we can hold that level, but the market is slightly toppy and there's a reason why NVDA is not participating with that rally to the top side. Henry Wood said, let's go AMD. Which direction are you going in? Are you going up or down? AMD has just been a steady grind higher. Obi and I both were trying to short it in this realm here, 218s, 217s. So yeah, I mean, same Adara. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So 88, and it's only Tuesday, Obi. Don't forget, you still got 3 more days to rock and roll. But I'm in light with position with average up with another one. So yeah, we're in some NVDL here. Let's see if we can get rocking and a rolling here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Grinding bid continuing to happen on this market. So Walmart found a little bit of a bid here at, what is it, 106.20, just above 106.20s. So a nice little aggressive selling after a couple hours of bidding from the opening session there. And first little pullback finds a little bit of a base here at 106s. So yeah, just watching it, I took a rep on what I thought was an okay opportunity there, and that came in decently. QBTS kind of got back into this one there. We got back up into 44s, and then it's starting to chop around. It stopped me out a couple times there already, but we'll see. We'll wait. There's still, I think it has room to VWAP. It also has room for extension if we're going to continue this grinding bid to the upside. But you can see the market, the past 4 15-minute bars, a little distinctly different from this grind up, right? A little bit of an overlapping action happening there as these bars are starting to trade inside of each other. So kind of maybe that signifies the slowing of momentum and the slowing of the bid that we've been getting because we've been just sideways for an hour after all-day bid. Well, maybe not an all-day bid. We kind of consolidated sideways here as well. So keeping that on watch and making sure we're in line with what the market's doing as well. Let me know in the chat what you guys are doing. What are you guys up to? What are you guys trading? So we can keep eyes on what you guys think is the hottest stuff in the market. Alibaba, oh boy, a little bit of a pullback here, maybe poised for some reversion. If I can find my chart here, I'll just pull this one in. Let's go take a look at Baba. So again, a similar story, all-day bid. The sellers start to come in. When was that? Around 12:50, 1 o'clock. They start to sell in, and we're starting to get a little bit of a pullback. Oh boy, there's that QBTS slamming down here. So now finally maybe some panic happening there. So ideally, this is what I said before. Stair steps up, elevator down. I like maybe the idea of selling on the stairs and then just riding the elevator. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it is what it is. Like I said, the style's always evolving in a sense. I'm always trying different things, different ideas as well. But QBTS on the day, we know it's definitely in play. We know it's squeezing like crazy. We know the quantum sector is running pretty decently, and we're starting to overextend pretty nicely as well. So Alibaba looked nice for a potential reversion, but I think that getting involved around 165s was a little bit better, because you can see here just a simple definition of the all-day trend. You just draw the line, boom. See, it wasn't that was easy. Right there, Staples button. So boom, right there. As soon as that cracks, sellers start to step in.
Oh.
So sometimes the trend is defined very cleanly. Sometimes the trend isn't defined very cleanly at all. So you know, that's the hard part. That's the hard part, being like, okay, well, if the trend breaks, what's the probability of a reversion? What's the probability of a slowdown? Now, there's different nuances that can factor into that. Yeah, no, I like that part of the price action. I really kind of like, I'm trying to get familiar with it. When those buyers finally exchange hands with sellers, and when sellers finally exchange hands with buyers, like, how does that look like on the tape? What does that look like on the chart after it's already been done? Because it's already been done by the time it's on the chart, right? We talk about things being lagging indicators. The tape is definitely king. The price action is a representation, if you're talking about the charts, of the printed tape that already happened. And then indicators even more further derived from the chart, right? So it's like you're tracking a lagging, it's like the indicators lagging, and the chart's also lagging as well. So yeah, take what you will from that concept.
Yeah, for sure, Gaurav. I agree with you on that front. I mean, the Qs are grinding higher, AMD is grinding higher, and NVDA has yet to participate, down 3% on the session. So let's see, I added into it here aggressively on that wick. Let's see if it can continue to hold up. Other than that, we're going to be patient on it. I think you're right there, Gaurav. As long as we continue to hold these wicks, then we'll be just fine. But again, got to keep those risk measures in place. I have substantially more size up here than I did get in right there when that was the initial entry. You should have got in a little bit more, because you grabbed 30 cents just right off the jump on that one there. So yeah, let's see if it can hold up. The signal is there. Can't do anything more. Stops and plays. Exactly, Gaurav. I love how you put it there. I don't know who. Look at Wells Fargo go on today's session there, OB. This thing has just been steady to the top side. So really, really nice play there. Let's take a look at it from a daily. 2-2. So yeah, I mean, there it is. Breakout on Wells Fargo potentially at the top end of this range. Look for that continuation up there, guys. Open up here. Maybe you get an additional long. Shreeve, I know BMNR. Let's take a look at this one. We were talking about this here. So 54.29. He's in at the lows, looking for that breakout, that one more wedge. Let's see if we can get that to just climb to the top side. Hopefully the crypto space rallies. We most definitely need Ethereum to participate on that one, because I want to get involved in it too. That's what I have my eyes on, is those two names, BMNR and Amazon, for potential next swing trades here. But precision is extremely key. So yeah, there it comes, starting to come back in there, Gaurav, which is unfortunate. Let's see how much longer we can hold it. Not much. So yeah, again, I'm heavier than what I can actually give the risk-wise. So a pop would be more ideal. Go short, don't work. Go long, it don't work. So anyways, what else we got going on? The signals there. Oh, you mentioned that. Went in heavy long NVDL, says the others. All right. Or sorry, yeah. All right, never mind the others. Bros and Blunder, Rivian Millionaire. All right, Mohammed Mukati says, Joe, puts for AMD down 50% right now. They expire Friday. What do you think about rolling or selling and taking the loss? Ooh, thank you for the $5 super chat. All right, so we had this conversation at our lunch table yesterday, and we've had this conversation countless times throughout my tenure being here. And when we talk about options, is that the pricing of them is meant to kind of lure you in, the near dated ones. So essentially what I'm getting at here, guys, is to just start buying the time, right? If you've been trading options for some time, if you're writing, you want to go a little bit longer out as well too. Regardless of what it is, unless you have a specific system, but if you're looking to swing trade options, or if you're looking to invest in them, you don't buy a week out. You don't buy a month out. You don't buy 2 months out. You buy multiple, you buy 3 months, 4, 5, 6 months. You buy a half a year out to the point where you don't have to worry about theta, because every single day we have individuals coming in here, Joe, I got these contracts that are expiring this week. What do I do? Well, would you be in, let me ask you this, would you be in the same scenario, and would you be in panic mode if you decided instead of buying a month out, you're like 6 months out? No, it gives you more time to react and to come up with a game plan when you're not, just in case you're not thinking straight. All right, but we're gonna pull this up here. Because it just sucks seeing people lose money consistently just due to not buying enough time. It's such a simple fix. You go down the timeline and you pay a little bit more. Just buy it. I've been through it. That's why you can hear the frustration in my voice. I started off that way too, and I'm like, wait, why am I doing this to myself? Just because it's worth $2 or $3, I think that the stock is going to move substantially higher? No, just buy the more time. And if your delta is highly correlated with the nearer daters, then it essentially doesn't matter. All right, so let's figure out what we can do here. The expiry Friday, what do you think about rolling? AMD puts, I have no idea about your strike price or anything along those lines, so I can't tell you, hey, start writing against it. And all I know that is it expires on Friday. When you're putting in the super chats, please make sure to let me know the strike price. That's going to give us a lot of information, okay? So now, listen, I don't think, okay, we're gonna go to Adara here as soon as I get in my ear, and then we'll get back to your scenario.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, Trump and Milei have not started talking yet on screen as far as I can tell. I have several streams up. None of them show that anyone is in the White House, but I will let you guys know Spotify and Netflix on watch. Here's SBOT. Basically what's happening here is Spotify Studios and the Ringer video podcast are going to be coming to Netflix. So Spotify and Netflix, here's NFLX, previously reported there was going to be some kind of partnership, or at least talks of a partnership there. Looks like that partnership is coming to fruition. Spotify bringing Spotify Studios and the Ringer video podcast to Netflix. Back to you.
I'm out of AMD NVDA, guys. All right, so as for AMD, let's see what we can do. Now, you're buying puts after the stocks. First of all, the at-the-money IV is elevated. You're buying it after these massive gap ups. There's a time and a place. This is a perfect example of when and when not to use contracts. So here it is, right? Like, I don't know your strike price or anything along those lines. Do you think it's going to head in towards these gaps? I like our chances, right? Considering how extended we are, we're up 40%. Chips are selling. NVDA is selling a little bit. It's had a couple sessions where it's recovering, and it's like, maybe we sell a little bit more. You can roll those over. I think that's your best case scenario. You just have to pay the difference in the premium if you're looking to extend your time. And if that doesn't work out, it goes back to what I was referring to with the individual, a RAM31, who was like, hey, I have all these RGTI calls. What do I do? Well, you just start writing the opposite of that. So you have, let's say you have these, let's say you have the 220 puts. I have no idea. Once again, a lack of information. 370. What you want to do is go down to 310s, collect $1.22. That's going to, or sorry, no, what's it? 220. So 380, $10 spread right there. You come and collect $1.22 per contract combination just to kind of mitigate those losses. So yeah, that's all the advice that I can do you. But guys, as from an option standpoint, start buying the time, right? Like, okay, let's do this one more time before we send it over to Obi. This is great. Oh, I get to have 100 shares of AMD for $622. Well, guess what? That's just going to diminish day by day, 3 days away. All right, but instead we're going to go over to the February, the March expiration. That's going to give us 150 days. Yeah, you've got to pay $3,500, but you're substantially more protected. Let's pull this up. We're going to take a look at, again, from a profile. Let's take a look at the profile. For you to lose a substantial amount of money, look where this has to start falling to. So this is the at the money. You still haven't even lost everything essentially, and that's trading down to $166. So it gives you time to work with it. Guys, buy the time, buy the time, buy the time, Obi.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think I definitely agree with you there. On making sure you have enough room, right? Making sure you have enough room.
That's essentially what it is.
Buying time definitely gives you that cushion, gives you time to be right, with time for the price action to settle itself before coming into fruition from your perspective, right? I think somebody in the chat, Harsh, keeps on asking for VSAT. So let's take a quick look at VSAT here on the day. So that's electronic technology, telecommunications, VSAT, Viasat Inc. What do they do? Okay, so communications tech, nice, interesting. Cool stuff. Let's go to a higher time frame. So it's bidding up nicely on the day. So if you're long, that's absolutely solid. You can see the selling from Friday pretty much reverted all of the selling from Friday. So yeah, that's looking pretty solid there. Pretty good to get back above some of those highs. We kind of said that if we're able to reclaim some of Friday's highs on a stock that's sold off pretty aggressively, that could be a piece of information that might be worth kind of thinking about. So interestingly enough, bigger picture, uptrend, even though Friday had a pretty strong sell-off. So we'll go straight up to higher time frame, hourly, and we'll keep working our way up a little bit until we have enough information right here. So even on the hourly, this is looking absolutely solid. Gap up on this day. Okay, that was earnings. So earnings on August 6th. Nice gap up, holding the base, even strong pullbacks, hold the base, and then we're trending higher. So VSAT, bigger picture, looking absolutely solid here. Let's take a look at the weekly now. Where does that stand? Okay, so we got some turbulence here. We're coming up off of some of these multi-year lows. I like that. We've been consolidating. This is what I was talking about. Stocks that have sold off pretty aggressively and then just kind of hold, and they can't really sell off as much anymore. Even bad news, good news, doesn't matter. There's no more selling left in this stock, and eventually, boom. It kind of does more of the same, or more of what it's capable of doing. You can see when it gets on a big run, it's really able to extend and maybe potentially go pretty aggressive. I don't want to say parabolic, but go pretty aggressive off of where that bid does step up. You can see that just going back on the chart, how it kind of behaves. So it seems like we're getting one more of those times here as we push a little bit higher. So yeah, this thing has been a few months kind of. So that was June of this year. We kind of started to catch a little bit of a bid and to push higher, and then now it is October. So in about roughly, it says here about 133 days, this thing is up almost 200%. So VSAT, good stuff. Good look on there. I think if you were along this name from down here, when volume did start to pick up and we start to break some of these consolidation lows, multi-month, some could say multi-year kind of highs as well, we start to get going. This is looking real nice right here. Expanding volume as well on the push. So yeah, I like it. On VSAT, VSAT. Let's see what else is happening here. QBTS potentially coming in. So sellers kind of still there on the short term on Walmart. We tried to push above 106s, pulling back in, and maybe some sellers here on QBTS now as well as we push into the last couple of hours of the day. Let's see, can we come down into 43s? Like I said, a little distinctly different, right? So we had the grinding bid, boom, 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 boom. I was watching it was on the corner of my screen, watching it, boom, 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 boom. First sign of selling, I want to participate. I know I'm going to be, more often than not, I'll probably be wrong, so I'm willing to be like, okay, cool, give that to the high, and then step back in with some more sellers here as well. Let's see if it finally comes into fruition. This is still holding pretty well. I'm looking for a full-on crack. Don't know if that's going to happen, right? Like I said, the pedigree of some of these things, how they've been building up, the story around them, and like the way that shorts continue to get blasted on these is a very interesting kind of price action that's happening in the market in this theme, in this sector right now. But yeah, shorts got to be careful for sure.
Absolutely. All right, guys, it's that time. It's 2 o'clock.
Oh boy.
It was Obi and I. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I'll be over at the desk here momentarily with the rundown. While we're at it, guys, we're leading over into the next segment here. Make sure you put those dollar signs and the tickers in. Let's do it before we leave. We're going to fantastic day. Dollar sign, ticker. Let's get it rock and rolling. Sean, Neil,
take it easy, guys.
Talk to us, my guys.